They shouldn't have given you ashy blokes YouTube.
Cursed be the ground for our sake. Both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for us. For out of the ground we were taken, for the dust we are. And to the dust we shall return.
You can't win, you can't break even, and you can't get out of the game. People keep saying things are gonna change, but they look just like they stay the same. You get in way over your head, and you only got yourself to blame. You can't win, child, can't break even, can't get out of the game. Yeah. I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
All right, good people. What's going on? This is it's just going to be an open session. You know, if you guys got questions, you treat it like a the AMA. Ask me anything. I'm gonna drop the link. Y'all can come up and holler. I don't have anything in particular that I have on the docket. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that I could put up, man, but it's all over the place. There's nothing. There's no theme. Let's put it that way. Trail, what's going on? Into the dust we shall return. Adric, what's up? Instant Media, what's going on? Kai, what's going on? Encrypted Wolf, a dusty new year. Free Agent Triple OG, what's happening? Ricky Watts, I'm listening. Del Quavius, what's going on? Eddie, what's going on in the Big Apple? Forever Blessed. Ignaz, what's going on? Happy New Year. Senegal's president declares the end of all foreign military presence starting in 2025. Yeah, we could see it coming. Don Man, what's going on? There's Toya with my Apple. You losing? What's happening? What's up, BJ Zipmore? Would legalizing all drugs stop the drug problem with cartels or make it worse? That's a good question. It might. Now, it might. It would take the money out of it because it would just cross borders. So the big money would come out of it. But the thing is, how do you regulate it to keep people from abusing it? That's the whole problem about drugs. Okay, people get on that stuff and then people kill themselves. They don't function at work. Do you trust people to actually use these things with in cars, stuff like that? There's some drugs that need to be regulated. Like fentanyl should absolutely not be used by anybody because it can kill you. So in that sense, it has to be regulated. But that is a very good question. And I think it probably would make it worse. Although you would take the profit out of it. Forever Blessed, what's happening? Let's see. Hurricane Greg, what's going on? The Black Toxic Masculinist, what's going on? Ash B, what's going on? What's going on, baby? I think it's Ash B. I think I have the right Ash. There's a couple of Ashes in there. One's male, one's female. I think this is my my girl that's married to Trig. Dominic, what's going on? Paul, what's going on? Lavarus, what's going on? Mr. Dacus, the Navigator, what's going on? Jeremiah Wins, Ellis, Smooth, what's going on, Smooth? Where you at? You still in A-Town? Mr. J. Matt, what's going on? Jeremiah Wins, Raven Knight, Harvest 2, what's going on? What's going on, Doc? Ray, Xander with a Z, what's happening? Captain Obvious, MS Delta, Happy New Year's 2025, the year of the dust. Oh yeah, the dust is gonna flow this year. Waffle Weave, R&E Appliance Repair, What do you what are you, refrigerators, AC? What do you repair, Arnie? Yango, what's going on? Ben, Passport OG, what's up, Passport? Any thoughts on the attack on Yemen? It's a war, man. Basically, Yemen. I mean, um, if you're gonna shoot at Navy vessels, and you're gonna put a hypersonic in the middle of Tel Aviv, you're gonna get shot at. Okay, so it's called a war. It's not an attack. Okay, it's a retaliation. Independent POV, what's going on? Zavi, what's up, man? Mr. Heat, appreciate you. 2025 is the year of the snake. Where do we mostly see snakes? In the dust. Make that of what you will. Stay safe. Heard that. Kevin, what's going on? Want to be Mystic? And they have to see, they have to investigate it. Was it a terrorist act or was it an accident? I don't know which. We have to see. But then you just had that truck drive into kill 10 people in New Orleans. So I don't know. But if it's an act of terrorism, then blowing up a Tesla truck is probably going to be apropos, right? With Musk being part of the administration, and then a Tesla truck blowing up in Vegas, can't get more quaint than that, right? M for Maverick, what's going on? What's going on, Art? Smitty? MS Delta. Question: why some people think America does have good STEM graduates? If we don't, oh, we. It was why a question: why some people think America does have good STEM graduates? If we don't, then invest in Americans. That's true, and I think that's what I think that's the tack we should take with the H-1B visas, right? If you're going to uncap that, then you're going to have to make an investment in homegrown STEM. You're going to have to do it anyway, okay? With homegrown STEM, because eventually what's going to happen is these cats that are here are going to take their knowledge and go back to India with it and make India stronger. So you're going to have to invest here. And that's the problem that we're having. We didn't invest here when we should have. China and India did from 2000 on, okay? We did not. So that's why there's a deficit. Hell, half your kids can't even read at college level, much less do STEM. I believe what Sweden did to help their drug issue is they legalized all drugs, but they implemented forced rehab if you went too far. You could, but Sweden only has 10 million people. Smooth, what's up? Thank you, appreciate you. Will Wardrobe, what's going on? Oliver Wilson, Titan Blooded, Mr. Snazzy, Hazard, what's going on? Marcus B2B. Is it B2B or B? Yeah, I think it is B2B. Yeah. Except for the Rams fans. That is true. Rams have nothing to. It does. We have to see what the. Now, actually, it's a very good message. If it's a Tesla truck and blown up outside of a hotel in Vegas. Outside, I think was it a Trump hotel? I'm not sure. But the thing is, that is apropos. That is a message. By the way, contrary to what we were saying in the news, U.S. Navy has hypersonic cruise missiles. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Have had them for about 15 years. So I don't believe it. If they did it, they're not demonstrating it. Okay, because Israel would have used hypersonics if they had them. Okay. From my knowledge, what all I've read over the past 15 years, we don't have them. If we do have them, they're experimental. Because has been not one test on hypersonic to my knowledge. And normally you don't deploy stuff without a test. 2025 time to leave in germanium cloud, dust cloud. Okay. What's going on, Rodney? If the Navy has hypersonics, then they should demonstrate it. And hypersonics only do so much good, especially if you're on a boat. Because if you're on a boat, you're a sitting duck. Shay Bolson, Middle Nation Network keeps talking about Article 6 and using it against Western hegemony. Would Article 6 actually work if the Global South used it? If you can enforce it. There's a whole bunch of articles they use and they can't enforce. You can only use what you can enforce. Cutting the Department of Education can't help. We don't know. The thing is, the president cannot cut the Department of Education. Only the Congress can. If they do it, it doesn't matter because you're going to have to replace it with something else anyway. Once they start letting them Indians in droves, it's over for Black America. In Canada, blacks are marginalized due to the Indians. There we go. Well, the thing is, what about all the Latinos they let across the border over the past 4 years? And just like any other visa, you can let them in. You don't have to keep them here, okay? If it doesn't work out, you can send them back home. That's why we homeschooled Ava. She is pre-K reading on a second grade level. Our neighbors are teaching her to code. They're Indian and graduated from Southern University. Yep. Trump Hotel. I mean, come on. What can I tell you? Anyhow, Shannon Green, W. Brizzle. What's up, Charles? Yeah. But basically, man, we keep up with this. We've been keeping up with this for the past 10 years. If they got it, and they're hiding it, okay, it hasn't been demonstrated. Okay, we know that Iran got its hypersonics from Russia and from China. Now, you don't think that if we had hypersonics that we wouldn't have given them to the Ukraine to use? Come on. Check that link. Which link, Rodney? Yeah, they tested it. But the thing, testing and deploying them are two different things. Okay. It aims to keep up with China. Okay. How'd the tests go? For the U.S. U.S. Air Force tested it for the first time. Okay. Basically, all your military people have been complaining about this. The Arrow was conducted in the Reagan test site on Kawajin Atoll in the Marshall Islands, almost 1,600 miles, 2,600 kilometers to the east of Guam. Okay. Them testing it and being deployed are two different things. There's reason put SM-6s can be carried on aircraft now. Signaling games. It's signaling, but the thing is, okay, let's put it this way. Even if that's true, okay? Even if that's true, okay? China is the biggest manufacturing nation on the planet. Okay, just in cruise missiles alone. Okay, we make 4,000 a year. They make 4,000 a week. A week. Okay. So I am convinced that they are making kids less educated on purpose. My high school stopped college level science classes 15 years ago. Shaking my damn head. Is because, okay, this is something that was even before Reagan, right? They wanted to shift the United States economy from a manufacturing economy to a because of females, basically, for feminism, they want to shift it to a service economy. So they shifted the whole educational program, right? That's how come they started testing, right? They figured they only need 10 to 15% of the kids to be good in STEM. So they educated 10 or 15% of the kids to be whatever they are in STEM or whatever it is, right? And the other 85%, 85% was supposed to go into the service sector because because the service sector is where females are. You pour money into the women, women don't go into what? Tech. That's your issue. But that was decided in the 70s. Yeah, I think the Chinese conflict in South China is inevitable. Basically, it could be, but the thing is, if you have that conflict, it's going to go nuclear, and everybody knows it. And basically, conflict in the South China Sea, what's that going to do? Okay, if if they manufacture basically everything else, okay, how is blockading China going to help you at all? It doesn't. That's why there were Negroes in my engineering classes. Okay, I have no idea what you just said. Anyhow, I don't think so. I think if it doesn't happen before 2027, it's probably not going to happen. They give all these jobs to Indians in Canada, and the black youth in Canada cannot even get these jobs. Even white people want a lot of Indians to leave Canada. Okay, they've been here. Okay, they've been here. This has been a problem for 20 years, and your elite have made the decision to bring them here. The thing is, what are you going to do? It's not. It wouldn't help. The thing is, if you have hypersonics, how come you haven't used them against the Houthis? Basically in Yemen. How come you haven't? How come Israel hasn't struck back against Iran with hypersonics? If they have them, because Iran used them on Israel. How come Israel didn't fire any back? If they're deployed already, okay? Because you said they're deployed, and I call bullshit. Because I follow this every day. I call bullshit, and basically I listen to current and former military people. If they're out there, if they had them, they would say something. Okay, if they existed in enough numbers where they could be deployed, you can't hide that. We talk about laser weapons and shit like that, and we can't talk about hypersonics. Why not? Dardar, appreciate you. What's happening, man? One of my day ones. Happy New Year, Elder. Been busy a lot, but listening in the background. Hope you're healthy. I'm trying to stay that way. Said, don't hate on East Indians up here. Eventually, man. Eventually, what you're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to make a push. I would make a push to take all our children away from black women. Okay. Because your biggest educational block is not the schools. Your biggest educational block is your women. Okay? But nobody wants to address that. We want to blame it on the government. We want to blame it on East Indians. We want to blame it on a whole bunch of other people, right? Only 10% of your boys in eighth grade can read at grade level. How's that gonna help you in tech?
Yes, sir.
Hypersonic is
Happy New
advanced.
Year.
Hypersonics fire faster than Mach 5. I'm saying we have missiles that go. They're not the same thing. Okay.
I mean, they start off as hypersonic. That's the point. But we don't. We have very experimental things going on for that type of technology. And here's the kicker: we probably have them. They're experimental, but you're talking about experimental versus people who already perfected the technology,
Yeah, and
which is
make
a big difference.
and basically Iran alone has about 1,500, at least 1,500 hypersonics. That's just Iran alone.
And
We're
your
not talking.
average fighter,
We're not even talking about Russia. We're not talking about China. Or China's probably got 10 times that number.
and your average fighter plane ain't doing that.
Yeah.
So
So, but the thing is, you say we have them and they're deployed. Okay, deployed. That means they're in abundance. Okay, deployed doesn't mean you have one experimental weapon on a ship.
uh, and I think that's one of the major problems is that people don't know the difference between experimental and perfected.
I said, BGS says facts. Even my own family, the black woman intentionally undereducated the boy. The thing is, okay, you know, at some point, that's why they hate the manosphere. At some point, you're gonna have to come to grips with your own culture, okay? And we have been undereducating the boys for the past 50 years. Well, really 100 years, but really the past 50 years. And nobody was willing to come to grips with that. How are you going to get uh, uh, a whole bunch of black people in tech? Well, one, your women don't want it, don't go into it, even though they suck up all the money. And two, you undereducate the boys. And all your women do is brag about it. They're not ashamed of it. They brag about it. Black women are not ashamed of undereducated boys. They're not. It's a flex for them. Well, we're more educated than you. Well, how does that help you? We're ahead of our men. How does it, you being ahead of your men? How does it help you?
You know what the shameful part is?
Hmm.
Those motherfuckers will still ask for a man at the same level of a middle class Caucasian guy.
Okay, okay, Craig. If they have them deployed, where are they? If they have them deployed, or they're secret, or they're like the secret nukes in Israel. If they are, where are they? Everybody knows about them because trust me, Charles. No, we read this shit. We actually read this shit daily. Okay,
Uh, they
and
would actually put it out there.
I have whether it's rumor or whether it's actual. Okay, there's no way you can keep a deployed weapon secret. Okay, there would at least be rumors
And heavily
if
guarded silos.
and heavily guarded silos. Yes,
Heavily guarded.
I
You're
said.
gonna get
Yeah, and it said SB says, and they hate to hear it oh, they hate my platform because I'm holding them accountable to their single mother. I don't, the thing is, Ash, I'm gonna say this, man. I got two daughters. A single mother, a single mother has enough time to read to their child for 30 minutes a night. We're not asking them to sit down for 4 hours and make their kids study. Okay, we're not asking that. The average black student studies an hour or less every day. Every day, does an hour or less homework every day, and that's being generous. It's more like 30 minutes. They have 30 minutes of homework every day. Okay, and they let that shit fly. I mean, you see by the test scores. The last test scores, nationwide, less than about 10% of your black boys in eighth grade can read at reading level. How you gonna do STEM if you can't read? And we cry about H-1B visas coming in. Okay, you can cry about it. Okay, we can cry about it. The thing is, what do we do? Because you're not going to change it. Okay, we haven't changed it in 20 years. H-1B visas have been coming in for the last 20 years. What have we done to actually change it or get more black boys educated? And the last time we did under Obama, which is my brother's keeper, guess who killed it? Black women. I just left a BMD ground test a few months ago. They're signaling to the industry to build more of certain missiles. They don't have them yet. Okay, they ain't got them yet. That's the whole thing. They don't have them yet. Of course they got to build them, especially since the Houthis, especially since Gaza, especially since the Houthis in Iran demonstrated that you need hypersonic missiles. Of course you got to build them. The thing is, how much are they going to cost, and how many can you build? OSU is giving an Oregon a beatdown, like Germany did to Brazil back in 2014 World Cup. Okay. Yeah, but what about the girls? My son is a computer scientist and he's steering clear of these quiches. A lot of your black tech guys, believe it or not, are not even ADOS, okay? A lot of them are Africans. I got a good 15-20% of the people in tech are actually not ADOS people. Said BTS did a bill and deal with the fifth generation flight. Basically, hypersonics are not there to deal with fighters. Okay, you don't use a hypersonic against a plane. It makes no sense. Hypersonics or strategic weapons, either against a land-based target to get past your anti-aircraft, or against ships, which is why hypersonics, even if America has them, does not going to do any good, especially against somebody like China, when they outnumber you 1,000 to 1. It's not going to work. Okay, and you're on a ship too. Okay, the thing is, it doesn't matter if you launch it from a plane, from a ship. Guess what? If your ship is within range, and it probably is, okay, where you gonna land? Uh, uh, to restrict reaction time. You don't really use hypersonics against airplanes, against jets, because you're whatchamacallit, your anti-aircraft, which flies at like Mach 3, is much faster than the plane anyway. You don't need a hypersonic for that. I heard you saying that black women are mortally selfish. Most women are selfish, okay, and black women especially so. Hypersonics are not good for missile intercept. My hypersonics were avoiding missile intercepts because you're at a certain speed. Your radar and computers can't track or calculate, especially if you have something like the Orishnas, but where they have a second stage, and they can vary their entry. So, what is the meaning and symbolism of the horrors of Babylon? Because there was a couple of years, basically the Babylon, and the horror of Babylon is the banking system, okay? And the horror of Babylon is when people give in to the banking system or give in to greed. That's the horror of Babylon. It's when a country is given into money and greed, because your banking system is Babylonian. So when you see horror of Babylon, okay, which is the transactional sex, okay, then your country's turned into a transactional society. That is the horror of Babylon. Math magic. I don't know where you come from, boss. Okay, I don't know where you come from, I actually research this shit every day. But if you have a counterpoint, you can actually get it. But the thing is, to insult me is not a good idea. So we're gonna send you to the corner. I'm learning Angular work for now. Found out only about software engineering through my ex. Okay. True sex is the motive for many things in our society. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay, I see myself. What? Some guys say we live in a pimpocracy. I don't know. Pimps normally is still a version of the patriarchy. I don't think pimps run anything. Okay, you guys can hear me? Okay. Thor's hammer is a thing. As far what do you mean is a thing? I don't know what Thor's hammer is. A lot of things. What do you mean by Thor's hammer? Ultimately, HB1 visas are twice as efficient. Will take have to pay American citizens profitable. It would take years to train. It would, and that's the we spent tons of money, billions of dollars, is putting money into these kids in another country where it's cheaper to educate them. Okay, and these kids are not just script kiddies that came from just a what we call it a seminar, right? These kids went through university. A lot of these people have masters and PhDs, and they're cheaper. I'm not saying they're better, but they're cheaper. Oh, the metal rod. Okay. And much like the originals are actually based on that technology. Do I keep up with AM? Who is AM? Oh, the kinetic rod. Yeah, the kinetic rods. Yeah. What does it more mean? If you don't know, then you're probably in the wrong place. F-4 Phantom was retired in the USA. It shoots Phoenix missiles. That's not hypersonic. F-14 is based on F-4 Phantom tech. Yep. Tungsten rods. Yeah. Hypersonics can be used for a lot of different things. It depends on what payload you want. Really, reason you have hypersonics in the first place is not for that. It's actually built to avoid anti-aircraft. That's what hypersonics are for. Because if that, you can just use ICBMs. Black women have been mentally hijacked. You've stated this many times before. Uh, they deliverance of their deliverance. We should have built the Super Tomcats while we had the chance. Um, you could have built more F-22s. The thing is that they're so expensive to build now. Angry Man. Nope, I do not keep up with Angry Man. So I don't know why that is a topic of discussion. Tomcat is my favorite plane. Yeah, well, it was replaced by the F-22. Oh, really, the whatchamacallit, whatchamacallit is a better plane. That's what they replaced them with. You gotta remember the Tomcats. The Tomcats are what 1970s, 50 years old. Yeah, the Hornet. Yeah, they built the Hornet. It's lighter, cheaper, faster, and it's not. And the Tomcats are heavy compared to the Hornets. I like Jimmy Carter. I like Jimmy Carter was um, was a decent guy put in a difficult situation right after the devaluation of the dollar because of them going off the gold standard, and he had to weigh himself through stagflation. So he caught a lot of that flack. But the thing is, he got bounced because the economy was so bad. Because when Jimmy Carter uh, uh, was lost the election, I think the interest rates were at 20%. So you're not going to last long with your interest rate at 20% in the United States. Yeah, I saw who the guy was. The guy they trying to see if he had any connections. It's probably well, whatever. I don't know why they decided it, but thing is, they needed a lighter plane. I wish we could take 5% on military budget and invest in education, infrastructure. God forbid, 10%. We must outspend our competitors by 400%. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on. You can't. Okay, fleet. You can't. Tomcats. Okay, planes do no good against hypersonics. You can't defend your fleet. What are you defending your fleet against? The way the family rolled him out into the public in his old age, it was wrong. I don't think so. I think he wanted to get rolled. I think that's what he wanted. I don't think that's what they wanted. I think that's what he wanted. He was. Why not? I mean, he was a decent president, and he was governor of I think he was governor of Georgia for a while. So. Actually, it wasn't Reagan. Actually, it was Bush, because Bush was head of the CIA back then. And basically, the reason that Bush did it is because Jimmy Carter, who's part of naval intelligence, would not um, accept him as vice president. And Jimmy Carter did not want didn't want Bush to continue to be head of CIA. So that's why. That's what happened. How do you think Trump will handle the H-1B visa backlash from radical white base? A lot of young white men are up in arms about it, about Vivek. He's not going to handle it any kind of way. They're going to suck it up. If he has to take the hit, he'll take the hit. What he should. Well, if I were him, I would offer training programs and pathways for young men to get into tech. That's what I would do. I would have a white my brother's keeper. I'm convinced the only reason we have not deployed F-22 in international combat is because the moment we do, Geneva's going to have. Nope, actually, you don't have enough of them. That's the problem. The problem with F-22 is you don't have enough of them. You can't make enough of them. You can't keep enough of them flying. Same thing with. So that's how come they use the. That's why they use the cheaper F-35s.
You got to think they're much more expendable.
The F-35s.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cheaper. That's why they can't. They only made so many F-22s because they're super expensive.
And that's like the reason why we use the stealth bomber on certain missions, because the maintenance.
Yeah, the maintenance
and the material to make them is astronomical.
The maintenance on what they call that. There's a reason they call it the F-35s Fat Betty. Okay, is because they're heavier, but also the maintenance on them is ridiculous. Okay, Same thing with the F-22.
And a lot of people, what I've been reading up on, and guys who are still in, been telling me, hell, they're developing new rifles. They're about to take out the M4. Get a new round. So I think it's going to be either 6.8 or 7.22 or 2.227, something like that. A much more powerful round with same system, because they're not going to use a bullpup, because it's going to confuse a lot of the current military.
Yeah, a lot of your. That's one thing about with the realists coming out of the closet, right? You have a lot of these people like Ritter, McGregor, Wilkerson, all these kind of folks that were that still get fed information from the DOD and the inside, right? They're a filter, right? They've been saying this for years. F-22, the reason that you have more of them is because they're goddamn expensive and too
Mhm.
expensive to actually maintain. That's why F-35s are like a truck, okay? They don't have the same kind of stealth capability or maneuverability of the F-22. But the thing is, you can. I
They can
think
take
there's what
licking.
10. They're 10 times the amount of F-35s and F-22s, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Plus, they're built to take a licking.
If Trump doesn't handle the tech bros versus MAGA bros situation, you think it will hurt JD Vance? We don't know. Okay, we don't know.
If anything, you got to think about it. A lot of the tech bros actually voted for Trump. So,
It's 50-50 because a lot of your tech
yeah,
bros actually voted against Trump too. So
yeah. And then a lot of the techies were Bernie guys. He would have made a real good chief of staff, maybe. Hmm.
okay, with Christopher, the thing is, it's called cost. How much more do you want a $2 trillion military budget? There's a reason they only made so many F-22s. Okay, things don't happen by accident. Uh, uh, things don't just occur because people are jealous of something, right? Goddamn plane's too expensive. Okay, they said that before it was even made.
How many carriers and shit can you make from just to get a fleet of those?
Yeah. What percentage of women in America are the finished product they asked men to be yesterday? Probably less than there are men.
Hmm.
Because if you look at the data, excluding education, okay, education is why they hang their hats on. Black men actually beat them in every other category. Wages, percentage of jobs, percentage of businesses, yada yada. There's only two places where black women really excel over black men. One is education, the amount of degrees they have, and the other thing is uh, single homeowners.
Yeah.
There are more black women that own that are single
Um,
homeowners than men. Men don't normally because men don't want to normally buy a whole house for themselves. Okay.
it's
Uh,
more of a it's more of a guy who's married and
yeah,
expecting children.
and they're expecting children. Yeah, the men buy houses for their family, not for themselves. Women buy houses for themselves. Like my sister just bought a house for herself.
Yeah, 6.8. The 6.8 round rivals the
Uh,
7.62.
and
That's
see,
normally fired from the AK.
Craig right there tells you the reason why you have more F-35s and F-22s, right? 89 million, which is a lot of money, okay, versus 350 million, okay? It's not rocket science, folks.
Well, if it's kind of not the cost, but the
Yeah,
subject matter.
the subject matter is not rocket science, okay?
But you got to think what's going on. You already have a deficit, right,
Mm-hmm.
of people joining the military. You picking up what I'm putting down? You have to be an officer, and who has usually the best fighter pilots? The
Ooh,
Navy.
yeah.
That's the Navy. Because most of your pilots in the Army are helicopter pilots. Air Force deals with more of the maintenance of silos, even though they do have planes, but the Navy is usually the most battle
Yeah,
tested.
we had battle. They actually take them into battle. The Air Force is more maintenance and well, actually, what is it?
Maintenance and protection.
Is defense.
Hmm.
Basically, uh, if you see a plane go up in the air to actually patrol the coast, okay, that's normally an Air Force.
That's Air Force.
Yeah.
Because most of them, Navy have to do those carriers. Oh, excuse me.
If y'all want to
But
argue, man, y'all don't have to argue in the chat, man. The link is in the description. You can come on up and talk. Okay. You don't
And
have.
you gotta. I do agree with that, Uber, because a man's home is his mental. It's not physical place. Because men are more prone and able to survive if you get a little hobo bag on your back and travel. Men are
Yeah.
built to travel compared to women.
Uh,
Women need a
uh,
home base.
women nest, men don't.
Yeah, like you saw the pictures from my house. It took me a while to put that shit up. I
Okay.
wasn't going to at first, but I was like, fuck it. But back to the military talk. You have a deficit of people joining um, because of the education system for the past, what you say, 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
How many engineers are you making and producing?
The last I look, last time I looked, the United States was producing. I think it was less than 200,000 engineers per year. Last
Uh,
I look. Last I looked. I just looked at it. Maybe it was a question about it. Maybe 6 months ago or something like that. Okay.
hmm
Got to remember, China's been producing 1 million engineers and 1 million
uh,
programmers for the last 25 years. Okay.
yeah. So you got to
Hold
remember,
on, Steve.
Hold
people
on.
who are you're not producing people who are making new technologies. Which
What thing is when you amass that amount of brain power in one spot, okay, then you're gonna get advancements. That's how come China
yeah,
is kicking ass in just about. I think of the 20 technologies China is leading in 18 of them. So
yeah.
Hey, B.
yeah.
Jeff, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think
Who?
America by large is an anti-intellectual society?
No.
Okay.
What it is cost. Well, it's cost and it's called decay. Okay, they call it malaise. It happens to every advanced society. Okay, all of a sudden you get comfortable and you start you start retreading what you've learned in the past. You don't make advancement. In fact, Quigley said that in his book, the evolution of civilizations, right? Okay, and
Uh,
basically what happens is newer technologies get drowned out by older technologies that want to keep making money, right? So
that's like
newer,
the cassette tape and the record player.
the cassette tape record, but look at the laser disc, right? You
Okay.
invented the laser dial invented in the United States, and
Hmm.
and the CD invented in the United States. Guess where it actually went to and actually proliferated? Went to Japan, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let me,
same thing. Okay.
let me ask you a question because you're older than me, right? I'm 32. And this
Mm-hmm.
this not why I originally came up here, but like now that I'm asking a question, I want to pick your brain. How much revolutionary was it when the laser disc came out? Because I
Very.
was in '92, so I don't know how much of a shift that was from.
Basically the laser dial was invented in the mid '70s, right? They actually started the first time they started putting them on. They were actually putting them on F-15s and F-16s. Okay, as map reading, as guidance and map reading, as information transfer, right? Okay,
Uh,
and basically in I think it was '81 or something like that. They got Japan got hold of it and started putting in consumer products.
okay,
Okay,
so
go ahead.
no, so yeah, I wanted to come up here because originally you came to say dudes come contest us. I want to know what was the question of contest because I didn't come
I I
necessarily.
have I have no idea. I don't even know what it is.
Yeah,
Contested. Who said that? Did I say that?
no, y'all say y'all want to come up on the panel, and I was wondering.
What I'm saying is you going back and forth in the chat. Okay.
Uh,
In other words, why argue in the chat when I have the link and it's an open session, open panel?
what was the argument over? Because
We're arguing over military stuff and that kind of stuff, which
Yeah.
I literally have to go over on a fucking daily basis, man.
yeah,
About weapons, how many weapons do you have? Who has hypersonics versus who doesn't? Uh, uh, what are the costs per unit? How many people? How many are produced in a given country? Where they're deployed? All that kind of shit. So I literally have to go through that shit damn near every day.
Okay.
To this point, I'm getting sick of it. Okay,
You
and this
got
has
to
been
remember.
it's been over the past 7 years that I've had to go through
Dang.
all this shit. Yeah.
You got to remember that, in war, you're using everything you got,
Right.
with the exception of nukes, unless you push somebody's hand
Yeah.
or they feel like they're about to lose it all. But
And to say that we have hypersonics deployed and we have not used one, I don't believe it.
Well, what are you guys talking about hypersonics and like surface to air missiles? I'm lost, man.
And I know, okay, how basically how they define modern hypersonics has got to go at least Mach 7 and above.
No, it's
yeah,
actually five.
Oh.
It's
No.
Mach
It's Mach 5. It's Mach 5.
How they define modern hypersonics nowadays has got to be. Listen to me.
I'm
Oh,
listening.
Listen to me. Okay.
oh.
I be, li-
Do you have
if
an engineering background?
I don't have to have an engineer. I read this shit every day.
I do. So I worked in defense. So what are you talking
You the dude. You that dude. Okay.
about? It's not the show of me being the dude. I'm not an accountant.
You
I'm
that
not.
dude.
I'm not an accountant. I
Who
can't tell you how
are
to place a sheet, but I know about physics and engineering.
dude? I'm talking. You're a scientist, right? Okay. You're a scientist, right? Right.
Oh,
Hold on. Right.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. What's up?
What's the first thing you have to do for any term?
What's the what?
What's the first thing that you have to do for any term?
That statement makes no sense. The question makes.
I doubt that you're an engineer then, sir. That's the easy one. You got to define your terms. You start there when you first doing algebra in middle school. Okay, you got to define your terms. You're bullshitting.
Like the
Fuck out of here.
why and
Hey,
shit.
yo, what's up? What's up, y'all? Hey, salute BGS. Faulkner, what's up, y'all? The answer, Chief Rocker, real quick, 6120 surface ops. That's my designator. But
Mm.
hey, good convo, BGS, like always. I am going off the faster than point 0.5 Mach, or not point 0.5, but 5 Mach for hypersonic. So just to be clear, when I say they're deployed, what I'm saying is there are aircraft silos and surface ships that have missiles that go up to and faster than 5 Mach. But to Faulkner's point, it is a known fact we don't have anything in the first stage that goes faster than 5 Mach as a hypersonic. That's the point I was getting at.
Okay. The thing is, and this is something I've been reading. The way they define modern hypersonics now, it's got to go above Mach 7. Okay, because your all your Soviet and Chinese or hypersonics are at Mach 7, Mach 8, and Mach 9. Okay. In fact, I think the new ones are. I think the new one they're experimenting with is go to Mach 12.
And what that mean? That means they could get from one part of the country to another in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's
It,
it's it's really about battle space, how quickly you can get there, and if you can confuse your combat system to get an intercept on it. That's the reason.
in other words, basically I think it passed Mach 7 that you can't even track the bad boy. Okay.
Yeah, or
After
you'll track it, you'll pick it up, but you won't be able to get an engagement on it.
yeah.
That's
And you'll see it, but the thing is, when I say track it, I mean we can actually have a firing solution on it.
pretty freaking fast. I can't argue that. That's beyond my expertise.
Because Christian believed the one they landed in the middle of Tel Aviv, they saw it coming in.
Yeah, it's a really sticky situation because, like, I mean, the cruise missile thing is what makes it so difficult because ballistic missiles have been hypersonic since like the fucking
Yeah.
70s. So it's
Yeah.
it's not an issue if you're configured to shoot it down out of space. But when you do it as a cruise missile in the atmosphere, that's a fucking hard tackle.
Yeah, but the thing is that's the way they're defining them now. Okay, that's the way they're defining the hypersonics now. Mach 7 and above.
Semester BGS.
Mm-hmm.
With stealth aircraft,
Mm-hmm.
is it more because of that particular technology that they don't have to fly as fast as Mach 7, or that's added into the arsenal?
You're talking about the missile or talking about the plane? What you talking
The plane.
But the aircraft is irrelevant.
about? How
It
you
doesn't matter.
gonna fly a plane at Mach 7 with a
Yeah.
pilot inside of it?
Yeah,
You'll die.
the aircraft is irrelevant. It doesn't have to go that fast. Damn near every
Yeah.
missile is going to catch an aircraft at this point.
Okay.
Be just
You know what kind of plane you'd have to build to actually go Mach 7,
So you said
Mach 5?
these
be,
These Mach 7 above are like possibly drones?
They're cruisers. They're
no.
not
Yeah,
drones.
no,
They're
they're
not
not
drones.
Nah,
drones.
missiles,
Nowhere near that.
missiles.
I'm not military, so I don't know the difference between a cruiser
So
and a drone.
be just
A drone is piloted by
Okay.
either AI or people.
Okay.
uh,
And
be
and
just
and drones are built to be cheap. A cheap
yeah.
Yeah.
piloted vessel that you can be guided by a pilot.
Mm.
That's what drones are.
Be just I was going to use an example like what's that? Top Gun, right? You know when
Hmm.
the one of the scenes where he's going through that the valley and I had
Yeah.
all those missiles.
Yeah.
Put it this way, anything on Mach 7, he'd been dead on first
Oh yeah.
before he yeah.
Yeah.
That's if you've
If,
seen that movie, that's what BGS is saying. And in regards to the technology wise, I don't know why guys are arguing with BGS. People need to understand the rest of the world has really evolved, especially with the research, like BGS mentioned. You got like 4,000 engineers trying to make something better and better against their competitors. Just like I think I saw China just developed a new stealth bomber or something.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sixth generation. Yeah.
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 To the point where we're having this, and I think we talked about this BGS a couple years ago, where U.S. actually granted Japan the ability to start developing their military and other things as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because we can no longer afford to do it. So yeah,
yeah,
they have to protect themselves because we
Yeah,
can't shield them anymore.
that's not just Japan though. That's damn near everybody. The United States is stepping away from the whole global protectorate
That
thing.
we don't have to. Okay. Your Ukraine was your last uh, uh, option, okay? Because Biden pushed all the chips into the middle of the table, okay? If the shit didn't work, you were done. Because uh,
You're done.
uh, because Biden, JD Vance, not JD, it was JD Vance. JD Vance actually, and what's his name? Hicks has actually talked about it, right? Okay. uh, you're already behind China, right?
Yeah.
2025, if you don't engage, basically, this year's your last chance to actually engage China. By 2027, it'll be a useless task. Hex has already said it. Basically, he said that your ships, your carriers, will last 72 hours in a war against China.
Yeah.
72 hours.
And your best carriers.
Yeah, I mean you can all of your carriers, okay, against what against what 10,000 hypersonics, you're not gonna last. Okay, not gonna last. Iran has 1,000 of them. Okay, you know what China has, and they probably doubled. There's probably like 20,000 now since you started rattling sabers.
Yeah, I mean, any type of conflict. Not to play devil's advocate here. I just gotta say, any type of conflict in the Pacific, we don't even know what it's really gonna look like right now, anyway. Because, like, yeah, I get it. China only has 2 carriers, but the fact that they got all those coastal defense missiles, they got hypersonics, they got all those aircraft.
What
We're trying to figure out how you would even fight that fight.
what do you need carriers for in the first place?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, in 2025, will we need? I don't know.
No. Okay, strategically, what do you need an aircraft carrier for?
Oh, that's easy. It's your mobile airport.
Strategically, what do you need an
Needed to,
aircraft carrier
needed to
for?
conquer and
Your con-
blockade.
yeah, your conventional air power.
It's called force projection because you have to do what? You have to police
The world.
the world. Okay, how do you police the world?
By having a mobile fortress.
So I have a mobile police station, right? Basically, your aircraft carrier is a mobile police station. What the aircraft carrier was designed to do is what are they doing right now in the Red Sea against the Houthis, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but to that point though, I mean, China obviously recognizes in order for them to have air dominance, they need to build a carrier force. Otherwise, they wouldn't be building carriers.
No, they don't need carriers for air dominance. They need carriers if they're going to take over the world. Okay.
You think the PRC feels comfortable not having air dominance in the Pacific? Is that what you're telling me?
Have you listened to me? Do you understand? Okay, complete my sentence since you interrupted me. Complete my sentence. What was I going to say?
Oh, I interrupted you. I shouldn't have. I don't know what you're gonna say.
Okay. What are I asked you? What are aircraft carriers for? Right? What did I say? Strategically, they're actually there for. Right?
Yeah, you said power projection.
Power projection for what?
Should employ your force. Get your
No,
choke
no, no,
points.
no, no. To police trade. Right? That's what you're there for. What are they doing in the Red Sea right now?
Yeah, I know what they're doing in the Red Sea. They're fighting off on the Houthis trying to protect shipping.
Trying to protect shipping, which is your job because guess what? You lead the world, right? It is your job to ensure trade. So if there's any kind of what piracy or somebody basically bothering shipping lanes and stuff like that, guess who's going to show up?
Pirates.
No, no, no. Your military, your navy is going to show up,
Oh,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
That's what you're there for. So basically, and I said this got to be, God, when did I say this? Got to be 2010, okay? If you're supposed to be the economic leader of the planet, what's the four things you actually need?
You need a blue water navy,
You need a blue water navy. Why? To actually ensure trade, for sure, protect trade, right? Number one, right? What's number two?
technology,
You need the biggest what? Manufacturing
manufacturing, which
base, okay? Which means technology. What's the third thing that you need?
uh,
The largest cache of gold, right? Because gold is is your basic metal. So sometimes it's gold, sometimes, which is why they control gold, and they actually controlled what? Uh,
silver,
digital coins, which is Bitcoin, all that kind of crap, right? What's the fourth thing that you need? Okay,
population.
nope. You need the biggest balance of trade. Okay, in other words, more people owe you money, right? Which that was United States before what? 1971. So when China in the mid '90s or the 2000s rose to power, what's the one thing they did not have out of those three?
Blue Water Navy.
Blue Water Navy. That's why they needed who?
Russia,
Russia.
USSR,
Right. So until they could develop what?
their own blue water
On
navy.
one Blue Water Navy. This is
Blue
why
water
you
navy.
need carriers.
Hmm.
That's why you
I
need
don't.
carriers.
Yeah, hey, you on point with everything you said. I don't disagree with any of that. I'm more talking about the whole Pacific Fleet conflict thing. That was
But
kind of my point.
Pacific Fleet conflict things.
Wait a minute. Who's the naval officer over here?
So tell me what a Pacific Fleet conflict's gonna do against hypersonic missiles when you go into conflict.
Oh, hey, that goes back to my original point. I don't think anybody has any fucking idea what a blue water fight would look like in the 21st century. I'm not
Okay,
pretending that I do.
Hegseth already told when Hegseth was actually interviewed for actually got named the department was it Secretary of
That's
Defense.
us.
What
That's
did he
us.
Hegseth? What did he say? What's the first thing he said about going against China with your blue water navy? What did he say?
Your last 72
They
hours.
last 72 hours. Okay. Wait. Okay. Look. You have two carries going up against the Houthis,
And they can barely do that.
and Houthis have fought them to a standstill for over a year. Come on now. Just like anything else, the battlefield evolves.
Yeah. Hey,
I mean,
BGS, what is there
I
something in the
lost. I
air?
lost audio. Y'all still here?
we still
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. You got to think about this.
All right.
One, you had a military that was letting a bunch of woke shit in instead of actually the technological breakthroughs they're supposed to have. When you're work, when you're not trying to get the best and you can't attract the best minds and bodies,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall down
You,
for occupancy.
you, you,
And
you,
especially if you have
you,
an enemy that's developing at a fucking crazy rate.
you know why China's has exploded in chip advancement over the past 10 years or so? You know
You
why
gave
that
it to
is?
him.
Huh?
Because you sent them over there.
No, it is because you favored Obama favored Intel over IBM. Okay,
Mm,
IBM didn't have enough money to finish its technology, right? Guess. You actually banned the chips, Intel chips, from going over to what, China, right? So guess what China did?
They bought IBM.
Bought IBM's technology. They
Mm-hmm.
they bought AMD, who was another American company, AMD's technology, and sent them to where? TSMC,
China.
TSUSMC. Who's the leading chip manufacturer on the planet now?
DMC.
TSMC. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
With American technology. Okay. In other words, you wouldn't allow it to grow here. Okay. And somebody else bought it, and guess what? It's coming back. It's coming back to bite you in the ass.
Excuse me, master teacher.
Mm-hmm.
why did he even allow that in the
Well,
first place?
Because they didn't, because they favored Intel over IBM,
IBM.
and they didn't believe in IBM's technology.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
My question is, like, do you remember that quote? I remember you brought up one time by Jeremy Irons, where he said, "How do you become the best? Either you're the first, you innovate, or you steal."
No, but
And
what is it? Be first, be
first,
smarter,
be smarter,
or cheat.
or cheat.
Yeah,
And you mentioned that the PRC has done all three.
they do all three. They have been for a while, and guess what? Guess what? The biggest thing that they took advantage of. Okay. Guess what? The biggest thing they took advantage of. They were complaining about this in the late '90s, early 2000s, right? Okay. The biggest advantage of capitalism is addicted to what? Profits.
Cheap labor.
Profits. They don't give a shit about cheap labor. Profits. Okay.
Greed, straight greed.
Straight greed. And so that's how come and they're still on that opium. They can't give it up. Okay.
Oh, it's a powerful opium indeed. You know, you cut costs and try to maximize profits
And
at all ends.
why do you think Tesla still gets its batteries from the PRC without sanctions?
Yep. That's what
It's
Steve Bannon.
It's far more profitable there than it is to get it someplace else.
There's a bunch of reasons. One, there's a whole bunch of reasons that go into this shit. One, it's too toxic to make here, right? Because you have something called what, the
EPA.
environment, EPA, right? There's a whole lawsuit in Silicon Valley that's still pending for the last 40 years. Okay,
Right,
really almost 50 years.
Because it's lithium batteries, and the process of trying to extract them and such is very toxic.
Chips are dirty. Lithium battery production is dirty. There's a whole bunch of dirty industry that China took on.
It's also environmentally hazardous.
50 when I this is 20 years ago. I was actually looking at 51% of China's water is polluted.
Just like the air was polluted and everything.
It used to be Beijing used to be worse. They had to walk around wearing masks, right, because of pollution. Okay, but they took it on.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of reasons that this stuff happened. But the thing is, it was too expensive for it to be made here. That's why they shipped it to Taiwan first, and then to Korea, and then finally to China.
Yeah.
You got to think about it. The United States could have had Africa, but for one reason. What was the reason?
That's racism. Okay, that's just straight up racism. Yeah.
Gotta love it. Oh no, these black people getting ahead. Not on my watch, but we need them for population and technology.
You need them for extraction too.
Which is why Wilkerson is laughing at the United States now. Okay, because him and Colin Powell told them that back in 2003. Okay, and now he's laughing. Go ahead.
By the way, Charles, you're forgetting something. Where does most people get their cobalt and everything that they use for the batteries of all these electronic devices?
Congo.
They bring them from the DRC. Formerly known as the Katanga region.
Yep.
And they use all types of slave labor to extract it. I've seen a couple of documentaries about it.
Congo is one of the most is probably the most mineral rich area in the planet. So I mean, you gotta.
That region, if you remember the history, it was that region that tried to secede from the rest of the DRC back in the 60s on Lumumba. And people forget also, when people talk about Patrice Lumumba, they forgot to also mention Moise Chamba. Moise Chamba was his political rival, but that was his home region that tried to secede because he was from there, that region called Katanga, or Eastern Congo.
That's a good. That's a good point with getting in on China. I mean, They made a smart move with Africa. Shit, it's the same reasons that South America was given. The South American nations were given about linking with the United States, only talking about Russia, only talking about China, trying to get resources, not funding in the industry.
I mean, the thing about China, they're not going to meddle with their other affairs. Talking about you need to have your children learn about transgender and all this other craziness.
Oh boy.
Versus America.
It's called decay. It's called decay.
Also, the decadence and the obsolescence of Europe that kept America out of Africa. Because to develop Africa, basically, Africa's the breadbasket of Europe.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you develop Africa, Europe is shit.
Yeah, Europe's gonna have to take a hit.
Yeah. Speaking of which, BGS, your thoughts on them allegedly going to war over energy? I mean, they fucked themselves.
Okay, they're allegedly going to basically. What they're trying to do is they think that they're going to hurt Russia by cutting off the gas going to Europe.
Oh,
that's why. That's why they want to cut off the Ukraine pipeline. Okay. But the thing is, it's already the gas has already been rerouted to China and other places.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to hurt them. Okay. All you're going to do is make the developing countries develop faster. That's all. Because now they have the energy to do so. Now they have the energy to actually do so.
Oh boy! So wait, okay.
And you're going to have the technological backing of China, full technological backing of China, which is really going to accelerate that process.
Yeah, I mean they're already. I think they're supposed to be building electric car companies in Brazil this year, later on. Yeah, so
I wonder where exactly.
I don't know exactly what parts of Brazil they're going to build it in. I think there's supposed to be 2 plants. Yeah. But the thing is,
have the land mass and the amount of people to do so.
But they already said that South America does like 90% of its trade with China now rather than the West. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boy, it's going to be interesting next few years.
No, it's going to be interesting this year. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, we already had a semi-terrorist attack. And the count's up to 15 now who passed away from that.
You have to investigate and see exactly who the dude was and who he's connected to because nobody announced what. Nobody claimed responsibility. So you have to investigate.
Where was that? Because I just glanced and saw it.
New Orleans.
Yeah. No, what happened exactly?
It was on Bourbon Street.
What was
what?
No, it was a truck.
No, truck. Yeah.
A truck plowed a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Which
is easy to do.
You know, it's funny. We just talked about that.
Remember they did that in Germany last month.
We just talked about that a few days ago, and that's the one thing about human beings. If we actually develop more ways to heal people instead of hurt them, we'd be some bad motherfuckers, right? We'd be living on Mars right now. But
yeah, well,
it's you got a lot of
people. They addicted that to that money.
Well, they're addicted to control, and this is something because what Europe and the United States is doing is beyond money.
Talk about black women like that, BGS.
Well, that's true. But what Europe is doing and the United States is doing right now is beyond money. It's costing them money. Okay, so why are they doing it? It's because they believe in their right to rule.
Facts. Hey, BGS, quick question on your personal take. What's your view on artificial intelligence and the role of warfare?
It's already there and it's just going to expand.
Yes.
Most of your drones are going to be controlled by AI.
AI is being put everywhere
from now on. Yeah.
Okay.
We're on the Terminator timeline now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. You've been on it for a while. We just didn't know it.
Remember when Facebook and what's the name? Built that them 2 AIs that were talking to each other.
There's a bunch of them. I think it was one. Google had one. I think the first time I saw it was 2013, and then Facebook, and then Amazon. There's a bunch of them where the AI assistants were actually talking to each other. So
only in America where AI talks to each other.
And those are the ones that we heard about.
and then tell you what they're not gonna do. Like what?
Uh, well, eventually they will. But you
You
know,
ain't gonna make me come out here and work. I work hard for my money, child. But anyway, I mean, yeah, we do have real life Skynet and
yeah,
shit.
but that's why I played Sir Charles Schultz. He talked about this back in 1995 about this shit getting
Dun
ready to
dun
happen.
dun dun.
Yeah,
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
that's why I always suggest the book. Well, number one, Damon, and then the other one's called Kill Decision, talking about the AI and warfare.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Basically, autonomous drones that not big ones, but small ones
Yeah.
that actually attack. Okay, same kind of theory.
One of BJ's, just
Not
to
the
piggyback
fentanyl
on what
hits.
Say what? Go good. Go ahead.
I was going to say, one of the to piggyback on what you're saying, one of the main two companies that I know of that are tied with AI with the new administration is I've sent you emails on gentleman Alex Karp from Palantir.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is another company called Red Cat, and they're like
Mm-hmm.
specifically when you're talking about those tiny drones, they can
Mm-hmm.
deploy
Mm-hmm.
and really do some serious damage. And what you're
Hmm.
seeing, um, from what I've read so far, is that you're seeing a massive conflict with your old school military industrial complex,
Yeah.
with the new school of AI implementing drones. Because even now, the argument Elon has presented against the CEO at Lockheed Martin, he was like, "Why do we need jet fighter planes so we can do drones?" Which Elon doesn't understand actual warfare. But I can see why he's trying to sway or take the money. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, you could, but the thing is, it's a matter of control. Okay, like
Yes,
some, because like anything that's a machine can be hacked.
yes,
It's harder to hack a
Mm-hmm.
human being.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, you're also talking about hundreds of billions of dollars of investment in business infrastructure, systems, and the political
yes.
motivations behind maintaining certain job and contracting setups.
Mm-hmm.
That you're talking you're talking about some major political fights on that issue.
That's true, but it's also fear, and this is even amongst the people that develop these things. At how much control do you actually want to give over to an AI?
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing about it. We fucking around and letting the other nations do it. You got us in a pigeonhole. You kind of got to do it now.
I mean, what other
Well,
the other nations have the same kind of plight
problem.
that you do, right?
Same
Exactly.
problem.
I mean,
So even if we didn't want to, you put yourself at a significant disadvantage not
I
utilizing
mean,
I don't know about that.
what country do you know that has deployed autonomous drones in warfare?
Hmm.
it. Shit. Wait, in actual warfare, you talking about just operations?
No, I'm talking about actual warfare.
Warfare.
When
Right,
we
right now,
we
right
do it,
now,
we
Ukraine's the
do
only one I'm tracking.
that loose an autonomous drone.
Autonomous?
No.
No.
Oh, my bad. No, I didn't hear you say
No.
autonomous.
No.
No,
No.
we've been using drones, man, since the '90s.
90.
So
Not
yeah.
autonomous because there's too much of there's too much of a risk right now.
Well,
Iran usually regularly get hit by drones. So we're talking
yeah,
about
they're up
autonomous
here.
drones.
Yeah,
One at a time, one
autonomous
time, one time.
now.
Go ahead.
They're up here having
Who one at a time? Who's first?
Oh, I'll go real quick. I just had a statement. Yeah, they were talking about reviewing the Geneva Convention, and everything on how they're going to have to work AI into all this.
Yeah, I would tread lightly,
Yeah.
if I were them.
Oh.
Because right now, if you have something autonomous, how are you going to stop it?
That goes back to everything since was it Colossus the Forbin project?
Hmm.
Okay, when you actually turn over your defense into an autonomous
No.
artificial intelligence.
They don't even do
And
that with
goes
nuclear
rogue.
with the nuclear
One at a time,
codes.
one time, one time, one time, one time.
The
There's a
other
Go ahead,
reason
thing
go
why
ahead,
we
go ahead,
have
go ahead, go ahead, go
I
ahead.
mean, once I activate my autonomous killer robots, I've licensed everybody else to do the same. So
Yep.
even if I want to use them,
Yeah,
now I know if I'm China, I know there's going to be an American blowback. I know
yeah,
there's going to be a European blowback.
Hmm.
So I've moved the planet in a different
yeah,
direction. We
yeah.
moved it. Once that starts, you move
You
human
you
history
you
in a
you,
very different
you,
direction.
you open Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why BJ, just remember we talked about this with
Mm-hmm.
nuclear codes. Like there's a
Mm-hmm.
reason why they're analog, right?
Yes, yeah. I remember. Go back to 1983 with Matthew Broderick called War Games, right? When they actually uh, turned over they turned over the launch codes to an AI machine.
You're at their mercy,
Yeah.
embraceable, and there's a reason why. Like the fighter pilot was like weirded out by the message he got, and he said, "No, I'm not going to drop this unless I speak to the president." And you
Strange
have
name,
when you
Professor
because
Falcon.
everybody needs time. Now it's just like in law enforcement, you need time to use certain force. There's sometimes you don't have it, but during that scenario, he thankfully he had the wherewithal to be like, nah, something doesn't seem right. I want to speak to the president.
Yeah.
And if you have something like an AI, that can potentially overwrite their own overwrite codes.
Yeah, and that actually happened with an Air Force captain in 2007 when they put three nukes on his plane, and he found out, and he said he stopped everything. He said, "I want to talk to the president." He stopped everything before I take off. I want to have a chat with the president about what I got on. And is it no? I need permission. If we're gonna do this, I need permission from the top.
Certified clearance.
Because now you basically have the power of God in your damn plane.
Yeah.
That's when
Speaking of which, I appreciate you saying what you said, because I was kind of hitting on my point with the ethics on it. It's like we kind of stuck, because it's like it's scary as hell, but it's an advantage that your enemy is going to use, so you kind of got to use it too.
And what I mean, who's most likely to drop one on somebody, us or them?
Well, historically speaking, us.
I don't say historically it'll be us.
You know,
because we did it before. And
do you
are you still in?
Do you really think China wants to hand over its nukes to an AI?
No.
No.
They trust nobody. And Chris, you still in?
Yeah, I'm here.
I said you still in the military?
Yeah, I'm still in.
Officer enlisted.
Officer. I was enlisted. I just commissioned last year.
So you're a lieutenant.
Yeah, well, ensign in this in the Navy.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. One thing the Ukraine did was expose the United States for real. Okay, what you have, what you don't have. Okay, because you telling me that Biden, out short of nukes, Biden hasn't thrown in everything that he has.
Oh, he was working. He was greasing the wheels, man.
Yeah.
You literally gave them how much in weaponry?
They gave them 500 ATACMS, man.
You basically gave them everything except service members of nukes.
Yep. That's what they gave.
And they still got slaughtered. Yeah.
When people telling me Ukraine is holding up the fight, fucking Russia just said, you know what? We're just going to show you what we got, and threw one of those thermobaric bombs over in a little.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, they could have done. They could have turned Kyiv into a parking lot in an hour if they really wanted to, but they didn't. So without nukes.
Hopefully, all this crap will get settled after January 21st.
Well, basically, it's already winding down. Basically, they've already withdrawn from Kursk, and they're winding down a whole bunch of stuff, basically because there's no money. Okay, Congress just told them no more money. So whatever was going on, why they were actually doing all this kind of stuff, it's signed on to actually spending all this kind of money.
Yeah,
evidently it's over with now. But
kind of reason why.
But Biden's economy is doing well, according to some knuckleheads.
I had friends over today, and from out of town, and we got into this big discussion about Obama versus not Obama, but Biden versus Trump and stuff like that. I said you really don't know the person that you elected.
Yeah.
You have no idea who this guy is. Well, if it wasn't for Trump, they could have signed an immigration bill. I said that bill was DOA. I said I said you know who disagreed with that bill? She said who? Bernie Sanders. No, so go look at it.
Oh no, I actually disagreed with it completely.
I found it absolutely atrocious, folks.
That's an excellent Bernie Sanders.
Actually, that's a poor Bernie Sanders. You don't sound like a slumlord, Jewish landlord, man.
What is it Bernie Sanders said? What has Bernie Sanders said about these H-1B visas?
Oops.
Or anybody that's a Democrat in Congress, whatever they said.
Or even I sent you that PDF with the Eric Weinstein, who is like very well connected. He has a PhD, and he was the one that was going after Vivek. Like, you talking shit about Americans?
Wait, doesn't he have a brother as well?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, Weinstein. They went to they're like college professors.
Yeah. Highly connected. Highly. Yeah.
Yeah, Vivek's a shield. Vivek is a Soros kid. Okay. Vivek is really not a conservative. He's a liberal.
Yeah.
Masquerading as a Republican. Yeah.
In fact, we mentioned this one time on one Mr. Z's streams. He's like because he's a millennial, 80s millennial, and he's just really he's that guy who had to be as obnoxious and annoying and being a little creep, a little fucking weasel.
Yeah. So that's Vivek. So he's willing to play the game, but Vivek doesn't always read the room very well.
Yeah.
LAPD SWAT says when I was stationed overseas, tests were conducted on stealth bombers. They were detected by the over-horizon radar. They can detect them. It's not that they can't detect them. They can see them. Can they target them? That's the
you can't
whole
target
part
them. You can't pinpoint them.
Yes, that's the problem with F-22. You can see it, but you can't target them. But F-35s, they can target. They can shoot down F-35s.
The material and the angles, the materials on the plane, they look like a flock of birds.
Yeah. Or to them, I think to them they said it looks like a little tennis ball. So
yeah.
But you can see it, but you can't target it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say
I remember.
Go ahead, Naima.
Thank you. I remember it's like we talking about AI being hit, be trusting AI and stuff like this. Remember when we were children, you guys were raising our snaking asses. This is in the 80s. There was a lot of movies that were coming out about rogue computers, rogue robots, and everything like that.
Oh, yeah. When I was a kid in the 60s, a lot of that.
Yeah, and sometimes people forget, and they were priming us in a sense. Because remember the movie Demolition Man?
They were
technology.
They were warning you that this is coming, and what are you going to do when it comes? Yeah.
Warning and priming in some cases, but I mean, prime example would be movies like Demolition Man.
That and even was it what was it called? Blade Runner.
Blade Runner, Blade Runner,
which deals with humans, with synthetic humans. Okay.
BGS, I was gonna say even with the F-22 Raptor, they don't even let pilots get almost 100% full control of those jet fighters because of just all the technology. You said the AI stuff. They're concerned about it taking over. I think they only allow max like 30%. The pilot has access to.
Yeah, I mean, I think the F-22 so advanced that a pilot cannot fly it manually. Okay, it's impossible. Yeah. That's what I'm understanding about the F-22. It has to be flown by wire. You can't, you cannot fly that. A pilot cannot fly that without AI's help. That's what I understood about it.
We ain't got enough Mavericks running around.
Yeah.
You got motherfuckers who can barely ride a bike.
Let alone Iceman.
Let alone. I mean,
scooter.
Look at some of the motherfuckers you got coming into the military. Barely do a push-up. I'm like, God damn, we're gonna get our asses handed to us, man.
Man, I mean, Charles, I was just on a podcast a couple days ago with former staff guys, and they even said the new administration has brought back a lot of the old school guys to really basically get rid of the woke standards, and they their attrition rate is falling off a cliff. But what they're getting is the feedback from the younger generations. Yeah, the kids are like, you know what?
Let him finish.
I was saying that the new generation is basically like, you know what? I'm glad you guys came back because now we understand what you're talking. Like the real boys are back, and thank God.
Let me put it to you this way. Back when I did the live stream with Pete Hegseth, And the first thing he's going to do, because you're probably going to see in the next couple of weeks some generals, retiring, even though you technically can't retire. But you're going to see a whole bunch of people at the top replaced or fired because they're trying to get the woke shit. They're going to have to start doing a lot of more promotion, a lot more benefits to get the best and the brightest in the military. It's not just about the amount of people you get, it's the quality of people. And you're right. You're going to need old school guys coming back there. You're going to need some grit. And that's what's actually missing. That's the reason why so many Gen Zs are getting fired.
Yes.
Can't get hired.
Yeah.
You have no determination. You have no grit. You have no perseverance. They even did a study. They said about 30% of actually brought their parents.
You're bored out.
He said, I believe he said like 30% of,
you talking about the military, police, and fire? Fuck you.
Can you repeat what you last said, Charles? Because you bored out.
Yeah, you bored out real bad, Charles.
I said, you got to think, they did a study on Gen Z. 30% of Gen Z actually brought their parents with them on a job interview.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Castlevania Kid says, has anyone seen the viral video of a brother who went to his family holiday gathering and he said, hey, I saw that. He's not attracted to black women and the women in the family wanted to fight him. Yeah, I did see that.
I didn't see that. Is there a name to that video?
I don't know if it was a TikTok or something. I can't remember who sent it to me. But there was a. But I just did see it.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, where it was kind of funny, kind of ratchet a little bit, but yeah, where he said he wasn't attracted to black women and the whole family. Oh, here it is. Okay, I got it. Okay, here it is. Okay.
That shit, man. You don't like black women. We want to fight. See, we feminine. We fight.
His name better not be Jermaine.
No, I don't know what his name is, but it could be Jermaine because or Pookie. I don't know. But let me see if I can scroll back.
Pookalicious.
Pooka, you ain't shit.
I don't know why they crap on Pookie.
Yeah, that's how they fuck our Pookies.
Let's see. Scroll back. Let's see. There we go. Let's see.
Oh, I've seen this guy before.
Well, this is P's Journal or something like that. He's a reactor. So.
In front of his family, and the reaction kind of tells me why he's not attracted to a black woman. I'm not attracted to black women.
Joseph, come. What do y'all want to do about it? I like my wife, that's how I'm going to be. I like my wife.
Hey, pause that.
What about?
I gotta be a smart ass. I gotta be a smart ass for a few seconds. That's not American blacks.
No, they're not.
And
are you sure? You sure?
I heard the mother. Okay. That's West African. Most likely Nigerian. Secondly,
but that black guy sounded American to me, though.
Well, that probably generationally, but the mother didn't. But here's the point I'm making. If you didn't hear any sound, right? Who do they look like and dress like?
Yeah, I mean, do Nigerian women care about their men dating white women?
Ooh.
I'm asking. Do they?
At times they do, but more often. But then again, you see the double standards also among them.
The way they're taken after their sisters in America, right? So they have become fully black women with that kind of rhetoric, right?
And this is the point that I meant. Remember when they say we don't have any culture, but they kind of look and dress like us? But go ahead, continue.
And nobody's talking about the Fat Joe diss of FBA. We're not talking about it because I don't want to talk about it. We talked about that enough, okay? To me, it ain't that big a deal. That's just been happening for the last 30 years. That's not new. I don't even
Irrelevant.
want to talk about it. It's irrelevant. Yeah, to me.
But I heard at the beginning of that clip.
And the FBA cannot say shit because they thrown enough rocks by calling people tethers and shit. So as far as I'm concerned, they just have to take that L.
Yeah. But I would say these were like Niger, but most likely they were in the UK because I heard at the beginning.
That brother did not sound like he was in the UK. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. That brother sound like he from the South. Okay.
Can we run it back at least?
We can run it back.
He's not attracted to black women in front of his family. And the reaction kind of tells me why he's not attracted to black women.
I'm not attracted to black women.
It sounds American to me.
No, it sounds like some Nigerians on the south side of Chicago.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
Okay. And that wasn't his mom, that was his auntie, Joseph, come here. I need to word with you. Hey.
That's ratchet as hell.
Yeah.
It's
very ratchet. Transplanted.
And then they're using the word coon. Oh God.
Yeah, coon. Yeah, he's a coon. Yeah.
In Chicago.
Mm-hmm. That's what it sounds like.
Their family might be from Nigeria or something, but the way them chicks' body language, they're American.
Okay.
The way they were.
I like my white woman. That's how it's gonna be.
Yeah, I will say this. Instead of coon or something like that, like most Africans, they will like refer to you as a coconut. I remember my people, they called me that, but we use the Tigrinya term for it. I remember I looked at one of them and said, if I'm gonna be a coconut, I might as well be a Bounty Snicker bar. I know, Bounty's candy bar. Thank you very much.
Hey, BGS, all I know is this: all my cousins that are married to white people, they better not say shit to me if I come with another race of a person. I want to hear it.
Did Snowman introduce you to one of his in-laws by any chance?
In fact, the lady I was arguing with, she's from Indiana, Indianapolis, as a matter of fact.
Oh wait. Her name wouldn't be Robin. Hold on, wait a minute. Her name wouldn't be Robin, would it?
No, I hope not.
Okay.
I don't think so. No, she's the niece of a family friend we've known for I was 11 when I first met her, so it's got to be 50 some odd years.
Long time, huh? Long time, like Brian would say.
I have a sister in LA. She would be a little bit older than you, so that's why I asked.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What's her first initial?
Actually, I gave first name R.
No, it's not the same one. Okay.
Same last name.
Sounds like the UK. Yeah, I mean, Maurice, because I remember hearing it like with the women who were going, ones in like Manchester and something like that. I heard that. If we can find that link, that clip, we can find out where it is. But the more Nigerians in
the TikTok was up there, so you can go back and look him up. The TikTok name was up there.
And the brother, Peace Way, that's Caribbean brother. You doing,
Yeah, but I saw it, man. It's like it's like Tuesday. Okay, I don't know why it's such a big deal.
No Termacat 2020. I said Bounty. That was a candy bar that had like the
candy bar. I ain't heard that. I ain't heard that in so long, man.
Yeah.
That is a retro candy bar.
Yeah.
I am old, okay?
And I am old. The reason I don't have a problem with what Fat Joe said about FBA is because if FBA did nothing but positivity and all that kind of stuff, I'd be fine with it, but they're not. Okay, they call people tethers and other kind of slick names. So when it comes back at you, don't cry.
Okay, fair enough.
One side calling tethers, the other side
That's,
calling utaku kata.
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I see. I somewhat empathize with the tether argument. I think there has been very often non-ADOS people who have played both sides of the fence
They
on
have
these
been.
issues,
Hmm.
and so I when I hear the tether thing, I view it from the standpoint of
Percolating.
like the movie that it references to,
Hmm.
this sort of game of replacing black
Hmm.
people when it's convenient to do
Hmm.
so. So I'm not
Percolating.
familiar with all of the language and all of the
Mm.
doctrinaire
Yeah, yeah,
on the
yeah,
debates, but you
yeah.
know
But they use
that's kind of how
tether.
I see
They
it
use
too.
tether as a slur. So,
Yeah.
Well,
and
I mean,
that's been used.
I think the slur is sometimes warranted.
Well, okay. What I'm saying is, Uru. Okay, if you're gonna
Mhm.
throw around slurs, okay, and you're gonna do that kind of stuff, don't get upset when it starts getting thrown back at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Speaking of
kind of
Well,
in the
before
I
we
middle.
mean,
start.
I'm
I
kind of in the
mean,
middle between BGS and
I
Uru.
what? If you go,
no, no.
if you gonna throw it,
I think it's a worthwhile debate that needs to be had. I think it's a long time coming, and I well, let me say the
mm-hmm.
Fat Joe thing. I kind of view it as an intramural New York thing. You know, like a block thing. You know, the Puerto Ricans over here, the blacks over there.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of view it that particular thing that way. But
Mm-hmm.
outside of that, just the broader issue of the place in the interests of ADOS people and the place in the interests of
Okay.
non-ADOS black people,
Uh,
that's a real issue
it's
that we need to
it's
litigate.
a real issue. That's fine, but it's a tiny issue, right? Nobody says anything about the white women replacing you. Okay. Nobody even talks about them. Okay. Nobody
Yeah.
just glances
Well,
over that shit.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
And the vast majority of the shit that was supposed to go to you got took by white women, and but nobody says shit. Okay.
Mhm.
That's how come. That's how come the little tether argument or whatever that we talk about. Then okay, then fine. That's your government. Okay, that's your government. You complain about H-1B visas. That's your fucking government. Okay.
Hey,
Then
Yeah,
nobody
BGS, the old.
and you talk about
but
H-1B
again,
visas. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
again, I don't think that black people, most black people have a problem with non-black or non-ADOS black people having a presence in America. I think
We we
I
we've
think hold on, let me finish. I
okay.
think part of it is the political maneuvering around the non-ADOS people, and that sometimes the disposition some of them will publicly take.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for example, the girl that's a, a, a twither of the that's featured in the movie, uh, um, Wicked
Revo.
movie, the
Oh,
Wicked
Revo.
movie,
Yeah, Revo.
right? And
Yeah.
she's made some rather negative and harsh comments about black people, but yet
Mm-hmm.
they're featuring her in movies,
The white
and
people are.
she's
Yeah.
portraying Harry Tubman. So I
Yeah.
think that's part of what's
British
going on there,
Nigerian.
you know.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
there's going to be that. Okay, it's been that way for a very long time. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is,
Speaking of,
if we're going to deal with it, let's deal with it. But things we fought
yeah,
for these people to get here.
That's
yeah.
true. That's true.
Speaking of which, hey, BGS, the old nigga came out last night.
Who?
When you got off of arts, a little boy
Beasley?
decided. No,
Oh,
no.
Tom Hammer?
Yeah, a little boy decided to pop up, and I told Charles. After a while, I just told Charles, I'm not arguing with this little boy. I'm going to bed. You can go argue with him all night if you want to. I'm going to bed.
About Hammer? My Hammer?
Yeah, talking about we support Trump, even though we never mentioned Trump during that stream. And a whole
Oh,
bunch of other crap. I done forgot. I'm
I
getting
mean,
old.
at this point, with all the information out there, if you still believe in that crap, then
Yep.
there's nothing we can tell you, because even when the Democrats, they're behind the scenes, they're telling you what the real deal is, and you still don't
Yep.
believe it, I ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah. When staunch insiders come out and tell you, yeah, this was really going on behind the
Yeah,
scenes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know,
Shout
whether
out to Wendy Lee.
yeah. Oh yeah, they're talking about the $2.5 billion. Well, Trump's trying to cozy up the billionaires. I like the billionaires that the Democrats cozy up to, and they got all the money for
Yeah,
their campaign.
seriously.
Yeah.
Trump had real.
Hold
Trump had
on,
real
wait.
accounting.
One time. Who's first?
Seriously, how long have billionaires been running this country?
Yeah, all the tech billionaires on the other side that support the.
I mean, this is what I'm trying to say is this is nothing new at all. Billionaires have been running this country for quite some time now. You just get some of y'all just now noticing it.
Yeah, V for V. You can't is because we're full. Okay, unless somebody wants to drop. Okay, we're full
I can
right
drop
now.
Hey,
down.
I'll listen. I'll listen in the background, and I'll drop so you can come up. I appreciate you for letting me up, BGS. Salute, y'all.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, billionaires running this country is nothing new at all.
I don't know why they think the Democrats are anti-money. Okay.
Yeah, who you think fulfilled Obama's administration? Oops.
In the last 5 presidential elections, the Democrats have outspent the Republicans. In the last 5.
Hand over fist.
Obama, all the way through. Yeah.
Hand over fist. Not even close.
And she had she had a nerve to bring up Bernie Sanders. You know what? I said they killed Bernie Sanders' election bid twice. Okay, the Democrats did. The Republicans didn't do that. The Democrats did.
Yep, they killed it twice.
And he switched independent this year.
And both times he was ahead of Trump. So shows you where their mindset's at.
So basically, the thing is, it's one thing when people come up when you say I don't know anything. I mean, I've been waking up, for the last 3 years, 4:30 in the morning, listening to these goddamn people go back and forth over all these issues and reading all the documents and reading all the reports from military people. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And and basically it's reflected on the battlefield. It's not something that, I'm wondering about. It's reflected on the freaking battlefield. Basically the same way I knew if the United States had had a stockpile of weapons and money and force, Africa would not be doing what it's doing if America still had the weapons.
How can you prove that, Jay? That's true. How can you prove if Africans never got touched by Americans, right? How can you prove that they won't be in the same squalor at the end?
Bullshit.
How can you prove? You're proving it now. It's called East Africa.
Now.
Where?
That's bullshit because
hello, Kenya. Okay, Nairobi.
Kenya. What the hell mean Kenya? South Africa?
Dude, if you don't shut the fuck up, I will bounce you. Okay.
What are you talking about, man?
You know what I'm talking about. Okay, don't overtalk me. Okay.
I ain't trying to. I'm just looking for the logic.
No. Well, then shut the fuck up and listen to it, okay? Because you're going to irritate me.
Don't start cussing, nigga. Calm yourself down.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yes, nigga. Calm it.
Okay.
BGS challenge day on New Year's Day. BGS challenge.
It's a new year, a new administration, and
New Year.
Greetings, Dr. Marifa.
New Year. Same old.
Greetings to you, Neymar.
I mean, you ask a question and then you want to talk about, you want to be smart. Normally, if it was just me and you, I'd cuss your ass out, just like I cussed out DC that time, right? But I'm trying to maintain some kind of decorum. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. You don't want to get.
I don't even know why you come up here. Okay, so it ain't that kind of. It's not that kind of panel.
That short still up. I need to make a clip out of that. DC was wrong.
Right.
No, DC was wrong. Yeah. That's the thing is, I got tired. The reason I cussed out DC had to back off because he got tired of me cussing him out. But the thing is, I got tired of people thinking that because the way I talk that I'm not ghetto. Okay, you don't know me. Okay, I proved that day that I will cuss your little black ass out. Okay,
will come out.
Evil twin will come out, and he's I don't want to talk to you no more, motherfucker. You should have came up and talked to me in the first fucking place. Okay. I don't know who you are.
Alexa, play "Starting Something" by Michael Jackson.
So what's the plan for 2025, guys? What's the plan with the money?
With the money, the first thing you have to do is stop the bleeding. Okay. Oh, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Let me look up David Schweikert for a minute because you guys
don't like
for for you pedestrians, man, because y'all freaking pedestrians. Okay.
Yep, that's right, Charles.
Y'all pedestrians. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it's like, you know, I understand what teachers go through, right? When you have students come in the middle of the semester, okay?
I got a question. FBA, I got a question. Would FBA in totality consider mass exodus from the United States?
Where they gonna
No,
go?
hell no.
Where the fuck they gonna go?
Well, hold on a second. I asked that question 20 years ago, and guess what? 99% of them said. Guess what they said? This is my home, and I ain't going nowhere.
Let me say something. Let me say something. Since niggas feel that way.
So hold on. Say what?
Let me say something. Since niggas feel that way, I just want to say something.
Mm-hmm.
According to the Pew Research, right, if nothing changes, by 2065, black people will still be 13% of the population.
They'll be less. They'll be less than that.
They'll be less than that.
Hold on. Let me drop this. So, according to the population, we go keep evil, the evil kill. We'll still be 13. But Asians are going to be 18%, and South Americans, Latinos is going to be 25%. Non-Hispanic will be 43%.
So who's losing?
I think black people would have lost severely by then, because by 2050, the median black
well, your numbers don't add up. So
they don't add up, brother.
if you're 13% now, and by 2065 you're still gonna be 13%, that means you haven't your percentage hasn't declined. Okay. No. Wait, listen to me. It's called math. Okay. So where are the numbers coming from that are losing then?
Because black bitches ain't having kids.
Hold on. The point I'm trying to make is this, bro.
No. You answer the question, okay? You stole numbers.
Pew Research. I told you.
No. Dude. Okay. In other words, it's only 100%, right? Okay. If your number maintains and other people increase, what percentage, what population is declining to make up for it?
Well, the point the white population.
Okay. Hold on. There's a timer. I'll give you 2 minutes, man, because you want to make a statement. So hold on a second. Let me go ahead and do this and do it and do it again, okay? Because I want to give you your 2 minutes. All right. Let's wait for the count. Go ahead, man. You got 2 minutes. Go ahead. Make your statement.
All I'm saying is, by that time, black folks will be a double minority, and so you know it's going to be at a serious disadvantage. And another problem is, by 2050, the median black wealth will be down to 0. So when you go, black folks are going to be the country where they don't produce nothing, they don't own nothing, and by that time, the white collar black class would have collapsed anyway. And then on top of that, you're going to have a broke Latinos and probably broke Asians on top of our heads. So I'm thinking maybe ADOS and FD and everybody might need to leave America, if America is still there by then, because the Latinos are very racist and they flooded the country with these people. So I don't know. I'll just what I was thinking. It's a question. It's food, something to ponder on. That's it.
What you just said has been known for the past 20 years.
How's niggas going to deal with it? It's not an issue of,
They're not going to leave, man.
So niggas just going to die here?
They're going to decline just like everything else. That's what they're willing to do.
Here's the question, Tony. What's your background?
Like what do I do?
No. Like, what's your ethnic background, your racial background?
Well, I'm from New York, but my mom is black. My dad is Trinity.
So let me ask you this question: Where will we go?
I don't know. I'm asking you. You asking me. I'm asking you.
No. You proposed it, so you have to have an idea of the answer.
Well, I asked if black folks were willing to leave. I didn't say
and we told you that. I told you 20 years ago we did a survey, and 99% of the black people refused to leave. Okay.
Oh, them niggas is going to die here then.
Well, then they're willing to die here because that's
what B just said.
Here's the part. Here's the part. Right. Here's the part. You said your father's Trini, right? Why did he come over?
What did you say?
Why did your father's Trini, right?
Yeah, but my dad was part of
No, your father's Trinity. Why did he come over to the United States? Was he born here?
bro. My dad is technically black. He's descended from a bunch of black
No,
people.
no, 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 no. Did he
Moving the goalpost.
did he move here or was he born here?
So y'all gotta let me speak. Y'all gotta let
No,
me
no,
speak.
no. We don't have to let you. We ask you a question. Answer the question.
Well, you gotta let me speak so I can answer the question.
Okay, man. All right. You know what? This kind of slows the thing down. There's a reason
But
we asked the
there's a
question.
group
Okay.
of Trinity that y'all not open to information. There's a group of
No, no.
Trinity people in
We
Trinidad.
talking about your father. We ain't talking about the group.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
man.
All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. I don't know what's going on today. Okay. I don't understand the whole premise. I don't understand what he's trying to get to. It's just like, you know, I don't get it. Okay. I'm not
It's
getting it.
funny because there's a reason why I asked that.
Yeah. Well, it's a simple question. Was your father born here or did he come here?
But
It
funny.
takes 2 seconds to answer. Okay. So
It's
why are you
funny
dodging?
because
Why are you dodging the question?
you
Okay.
know why? Because
Why?
anytime somebody has a foreign-born, father or mother, they want us to leave. But why did your parents come?
It's a valid question. You know, it's a valid answer. It's called a conversation. If you don't want to have a conversation, I gave him his 2 minutes. Okay, you wanted to make a statement. Okay, we let
Well,
you make the
what
statement. Okay,
happened was
go
Charles'
ahead.
question. He knew Charles' question caught him, and he didn't have
Yeah, I
anywhere to
think so
go. So
too.
he was going to try to filibuster. He was going to
Yeah.
try to just start rattling off shit to disguise the fact that he
Okay.
got caught.
Yeah,
That's what he
you
was
got
doing.
caught. But
The thing is for the family. Okay, motherfucker, I'm still motherfucking pro-black and conscious community, Pan-African and nationalist, motherfucker. Okay, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, who'd you learn from? Who's your mentors? Okay, I know Dr. Claude. Okay, I know Dr. Umar. I know the whole string of these people. Who do you know?
Mm-hmm.
Don't come up here with that leeches and for the cause. Get the fuck out of here. I asked you a goddamn question. You couldn't be quiet long enough to actually answer the goddamn question. Okay.
Yeah, I
but
think Charles
see,
got him. What's going on? What's
You,
going on, number two?
hey man,
but see,
I say it all the time, BJS. You got the patience. You got the patience of the angels, man, dealing with these double digit IQs and leaks of the
you know,
I
pedestrians
think
and
you
I
paying.
get it.
I think somebody's paying these people to come up here
I mean,
because some of
I
what's happening today in particular. I mean, they're
Mm,
kind of coming in
It's New
rapid
Year's.
succession.
It's New
You know,
Year's. You got you got to start the year strong.
I don't mind but if you have something to say, we're having a conversation. Had a conversation.
but
Okay.
they come. If you observe them, they're coming to be antagonistic in some
Okay.
ways. Pretty,
Yes.
it's pretty obvious. It's like everything is always a problem. It just seems kind of tactical. It seems kind of purposeful.
I mean, it's already January 1st, and they about to open up the 8 gates. Like, God dang it!
That's what it says.
Like,
That's
you
I
what it
about to
says.
mean,
open up an ass whooping. See, this is the problem. Like, I had a real issue with that. Here's I don't have a problem with anybody who's black coming to the country who's not a descendant of slaves or foundationally black American. But when you have the audacity to say, "Where will we go?" but your parents came here, the same.
I mean, yeah,
Can,
but
can, can I can I
You
can
know,
I say?
no, it's not that you don't have a place. Okay, I'm Pan African, man. We've been dealing with this shit, man, since the fucking '90s. Okay, and the thing is, if you go and develop the continent, okay, you have a place to go and build. Okay, with things, black folks don't want to do that shit. Okay, they don't want to do it.
Can I
This is
refer
my
back
home.
to?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Can I quickly refer back to something that we were talking about earlier?
Mm,
That was a tether experience.
okay,
That was a tether experience. That was
okay.
this guy inside but outside. You know, he's coming up with shit, but you won't answer any questions and where your real allegiances are, and don't you really? How are you supposedly half black? You don't understand the issues of ADOS people. Your mama's ADOS, but you don't understand. You know, It's that questionable, nebulous, what your real position is that is a part of this whole uh, ADOS versus tether thing. So that was an example of that.
Yeah, it's disingenuous as a motherfucker.
There's
Yeah,
there's a ADOS versus
Yeah, like a simple question, right? Okay, you're 13% black. By 2065, you're gonna still be 13%. Okay, but other population will increase. So who's losing population if that's the case? Okay, it's called
which is
math.
not going to happen because, as someone said earlier, we're below replacement.
Below
Black women are
replacement.
only
Yeah.
reproducing at like what 1.6, 1.7.
Yeah.
So certainly a generation from now, we're not going to be at 13.
If white people weren't declining so fast, we would be well below 13%. Okay.
I sent that email to the group going on 2 years ago about this. Like, I mean, like, again, man, these guys are so far behind. Like I said, I don't even talk to them.
You talking to an African. Okay, well he's born here, but he's an African. Okay. We deal with this shit. South you can tell we deal with this shit on a constant basis. Okay.
We just
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say what confused me like
Bless you, Jermaine. Bless you.
I am sick of answering them goddamn questions. I answer your question quickly, right? You're still asking the same goddamn question over and over again. Okay, dude, I just answered you. Go ahead.
Hey, BGS, can I ask a question real quick?
Go ahead.
It's a little bit off topic of the FBA
Go ahead.
ADOS tether situation. I watched the Catherine Fitz video, and I wanted to get you and Sauchi's opinion on it. I know you don't do internal politics within the U.S., and you're more into the geopolitical space. So I thought the economic question for what she's going over with the digital money and all that stuff. You've been talking about that for years.
Well, number one is got to go digital in the first place is because the whole world's going digital. Okay, that's number one. Number two, basically, this is something. Sauchi's a money guy, right? Your money has been digital, quote unquote, for the past 40 years. Okay, you just don't know it. Okay. But your I think is your M3 is your M1? I think it's M1, right? With the cash coins, right? M1. I think Sauchi M1.
That's M1. M1 is the actual hard currency.
Hard currency. M1 is less than. I think it was 5% when I first started looking at it. It's probably less than 3% of your of circulation. It's got to be less than 3%. So 98% of your money is already digital. Okay, it's just what form of digital are we talking about?
Exactly. That's all.
Hey, most money's digital too.
Most people do not. The biggest people that actually carry cash are immigrants, okay? Because they still live in a cash society. If you go to a developing country, they don't do digital, okay? It's cash, okay? You got to have some kind of coin in the realm in your pocket. Because they don't accept it, the cards and stuff like that. They're starting to, but the thing is, for the most part, they still do cash. In the United States, you don't pay your bills, you don't go to the grocery store, you don't go wherever, pay for your gas with cash, okay? 99% of the people have a card, okay? That's digital.
So I understand the fact of what you guys are saying. Now I get the context more so. I didn't know about the 40-year thing. So the cons and the consequences that she's brought up in the video, do you agree with what she's saying? Because it seems like what they're talking about is how China is already doing it, where they can.
They're already doing it. The so-called social credit score. You have to go. There's a very good book. That's why I give you guys books all the time. It's called Damon, or Demon or Damon. But if you look at it where it's spelled, it looks like it says Damon, right?
I think it's Daemon.
Yeah, Daemon, which is it's pronounced demon, but it's pronounced demon. But the thing is, I say it that way because most people actually go for the Demon, right?
Exactly.
It's by Daniel Suarez.
Daniel Suarez. Yes. That's the first mention of the social credit score. Okay, that China actually adopted. Okay, if you go read that book, you understand what a social credit score is.
But we basically have a soft version of that. I
mean,
we
do.
When you think about your car insurance, even getting jobs.
Yes.
I mean, we pretty much we're not as extreme as China, but we're there.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the Black Mirror episode that came out a couple years back as well, where they had an entire episode on social credit score.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that one.
It's
But
a
basically,
great watch. It's a great watch.
But if you either listen to or get the book Damon, the whole book is all about that. About an AI running a shadow AI running your running your whole entire economy.
Yeah. I would say, as B just mentioned in the past, like technically you should have cash on hand for those type of emergency purposes in general.
The reason that and she's been saying this for the last 20 years. The reason that she says that we should not have this is because guess what? Cash cannot be tracked easily. Okay,
Yes.
that's the problem with cash. In other words, freedom and independence of action and stuff like that. As soon as you hit
Pull that duffel
a
bag.
computer send or you use a card, you're automatically tracked. Okay, and with the trusted AI that Biden actually put in, you cannot escape it. Right? Biden actually put in a trusted AI into the banks like 2 years ago.
I was more informed. I was more interested in what she was talking about when she had brought up the recent hurricane, natural disaster that happened in North Carolina, and how like when the electricity went out, it basically disabled all that population's ability to use electronic transfer.
Yes,
and
it
the
did.
only people that ran that area there was
It would keep the cash. Yeah. And when the system breaks down, you got to go back to. You got to go back to. That's why I said if in an emergency, okay, people said we need gold. I said no. What you need is dollars, cents, and coins because that's going to be accepted immediately, right? Until people get used to gold and silver and stuff like that. Gold and silver are your last resorts or your base. But the thing is, for the first, I would say year or so, they're going to trade dollars and cents and coins. A penny will be worth more than gold as far as trading. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
with
typically
metals, you have the issue of the actual quality of the material as well as the actual weight and easy transferability. Obviously, the more you're spending, the heavier the actual materials are going to be.
That's true. It's true, but we don't have a system that's based on trading gold and silver for goods and services. Okay, but guess what? You still do have. Okay, people recognize the 20, they recognize the dollar, they recognize the quarter, right? Okay, they recognize the value of that particular those particular denominations. Okay, that's why. But if you have to go internationally, basically, just like anything, you got to go. You got to take that gold and actually trade it for something that's converted into something that can be used locally.
If you'll indulge me for one more question, because I want you and Sasha's opinion, and whoever else wants to jump in as well. So with Trump getting in office, right? Obviously, this H-1B visa thing is coming up a lot, but what do you think are going to be his? Because I don't really see presidents as their personalities for what they bring, for how they speak or how they are as a person. More so, like you had said a couple years back, whenever I came on, one of the first times is their policies that they'll leave behind.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think that Trump is probably going to be able to accomplish, which he's said he's going to do, is he gets in day one, is this corporate tax rate thing again for the tax cuts.
And it's got to be passed by Congress. It's got to get through Congress first.
But my thing is that all he's going to be remembered for?
The old tax cuts have not expired that Trump put in. They haven't expired yet.
Yeah, that'll.
Yeah.
If
I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing either. I'm just saying I don't think that it's. I don't see what he has added to the country.
He hasn't gotten in yet.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm talking about like from his previous administration. What I think.
Okay. Your CHIPS Act that Biden had. Okay. That comes from him. The reshoring of the reshoring of companies coming back into the country. That's comes from him. Okay.
Yeah.
Even down to them getting out of Afghanistan. That was Trump. Okay.
Oh, but
by the way, don't forget the suspension of H-1 visas, which the visas that actually helped a lot of black people start a lot of business.
Yeah. There's a lot of. Go ahead.
According to some people, the CHIPS Act is going away. The other Trump's going back in office. Oh my God!
He put it in. What are you talking about? Going away? He put it in.
But you know, Negroes don't read. Come on.
Negroes.
I mean,
that was my
Trump,
main. That was
Trump
my
is,
main question because
butthurt blue Negroes. I'm
yeah,
I
talking
mean,
about.
Trump
They don't
is
read
more
either.
of a nationalist.
One at a time. One at a time. One at a
Fair
time. One
enough.
at a time.
Fair enough.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
but the
say,
thing is, because I'm going.
Go ahead,
I
V.
just finished up.
Go
I
ahead.
haven't been here for a minute because I was at Ranger and Airborne School, but
Okay. Damn.
I
Oh,
did. I'm
Jesus
going
Christ.
to. going-
Jesus. I was just a ranger and airborne. Ooh, really? My goodness. Oh, just like just a passing right along. Okay, go ahead, man.
Go ahead, nigga. I went to airborne school.
I played in the Super Bowl, but that's just a passing thing. Go ahead, man.
I just beat up John Jones.
Yeah. I won a Heisman Trophy. No big deal. Okay.
No big deal. I beat Superman in an arm wrestling contest.
Yeah. Go ahead, V.
Only reason I bring it up is because, and I don't want to get in trouble for saying anything like this.
Well, don't get in trouble, man. So if
No.
get in trouble,
This isn't
okay.
anything to do with that. You had brought up pulling out of Afghanistan and him closing.
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys are probably tracking. They're trying to close down bases over there right now as well.
Still?
Yeah, they're going to be closing. I'm not going to say the base name, but they're
okay.
Got more.
They're supposed to be gone already, man.
Yeah. No, not in Afghanistan. In
Syria,
further to the west.
Oh, okay.
So, they're going to be. I'm going there sometime in the fall, right, or sometime in 2026. I'll be heading there in command.
Okay.
And the thing that's interesting to me is that, of course, combat deployments for our generation currently is not a normal thing.
Mm-hmm.
And what you think of geopolitically with the fall of Syria and all that type of stuff and the impact of all these things like AI here in the States, us trying to fund all these wars, where do you see all of this going under Trump? Do you think he's going to go with what his new defense guy is saying, where he's like taking everyone out?
The thing is, this is according to Swagger. You got 5 years to clean this up because your debt is bigger than your defense budget. Okay,
bigger than everything,
and it's growing like the blob. Okay, they're going to have to take a big old hatchet to everything. Okay, to get this under control.
You bitches on food stamps? Cut.
Okay. They're already hold on. They're already cutting nurses because of Medicare. Okay, so they're getting ready to start automating medicine to start cutting. Everybody's going to get cut, including the defense budget. So everybody, Hex has already said it's already going to start getting cut.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is one of the reasons why I said this is one of the reasons why I said earlier why there's a huge fight with the AI side.
Mm-hmm.
And the old school old school defense side. Because, like the thing about it is you got Lockheed Martin, right? The F-22 Raptor is an amazing jet fighter plane.
Yes,
right?
it's
but
just
the problem
expensive.
is just the administrative costs. I think they said it was like $2 billion just to do an upgrade.
Yes. Yeah.
We just talked about that when he first came.
Yeah.
And
funny. It's funny.
It's ridiculously expensive. Yeah, go ahead.
It's funny because, and by the way, how was Fort Benning? How is Fort Moore, formerly known as Fort Benning, these days?
Yeah, it was amazing. I was obviously one of the few that looked like me over there going through the class. You would think it would be more, but it just wasn't.
You could tell me the truth. It was. Did you go through the summer or the winter?
Winter.
Because you would have, if you went through the summer, you'd have been. I'd have said you were lying through your teeth. You were like, it's hot as shit over this motherfucker.
Oh, no. It was absolutely, especially mountain days, was absolutely freezing.
It's good training. Let's go to shit there. It's good training because, you're not going to get a lot of one of the least woke places.
Yeah. The fall of Syria is going to be an absolute freaking nightmare. It's going to be a mess, man. It's already a mess.
You know what I think, BGS too, is I think that Israel has done it. Look at it from another perspective, right? Mm-hmm. What if Israel orchestrated all of this going?
They didn't. They didn't.
I think that, not saying that, the whole thing with trying to say that they're whatever they are, but for Trump to go in, what was his thing during the election cycle was, I'm going to stop the war in Ukraine. I'm going to stop we're going to make the fall of basically the Middle East. They're going to have Syria fall. Syria just automatically falls sometime in December. And then they're going to go in. Lebanon is obviously just absolutely ridiculous. They were able to orchestrate.
They had to do 2 things that were unexpected. One, they had to convince Erdogan to actually conduct it because Erdogan stabbed everybody in the back. Okay, by doing this. Number two, they had to convince. Well, I don't know. I still don't know what Assad actually did because no, he hasn't surfaced yet. Okay, that's why I don't believe he's alive. But that's just me. Erdogan collapsed. Okay, when you actually go behind the details, the army was actually getting like $50 a month paid for to be a soldier, right? Okay, and what I'm hearing is that they were just bribed. Okay, they were just bribed. They were just tired. The economy was crashed. It was trash, and whatever they set aside just bounced. Okay, he didn't even
Yeah.
fight for it. He just bounced. So the whole thing just they haven't anything to fight for. They just collapsed. They didn't even fight.
It's so
Nobody
interesting
expected
seeing
it.
the history of their country too, as well, about like how I didn't know anything about, like, because me going over there now is like me trying to figure out like why is this area like this, and having French being involved in there for so many years, them going through so many coups. They went through 4 coups in less than a decade back in the 80s and 90s. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, basically, it's a piece together country from the Ottoman Empire. So Syria is just a piece together country. Just like some of the African states, they just drew lines.
Yep, they exactly that. They said they drew those lines back in the 50s and 60s.
No, they go back like to the 20s.
Oh, to the
It's
12.
earlier, actually,
Post World War I. You're right. You're right.
It's earlier than that. Yes, it's the First World War, just before that.
Yeah.
With the agreement of the French and the British. So,
but Israel doing it. But Israel's probably doing exactly what I thought they would. But I think they're. I mean, if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna break up we talked about me and Dr. Murphy actually talked about this. If you're gonna break up the freaking country, might as well go ahead and settle all the debts with it. If you're gonna do it, but I don't.
Yeah.
But the thing is, now they're fighting over. I don't even know why they're fighting over it, man. It makes us now. Turkey wants to fight Israel and fight the Kurds, and U.S. wants to keep them in. If they really orchestrated all this stuff, it seems like a big bunch of spaghetti. Okay, if they actually plan this, see? How old one?
It wasn't a
Yeah, go ahead.
It wasn't a planned collapse. It was, the way it collapsed was kind of
It was
Erdogan caught
unplanned.
himself.
Yeah, it was unplanned.
Yeah, and he's overextended himself. Now he's trying to figure out what to do with it. Israel, on the other hand, yes, they might have wanted it to collapse, and all that stuff. But again, they're now trying to make the most out of it and sort of make gains as much as they could.
And then you have to. Now you have to manage. You have the money and the time and the people actually manage all this. Now that you have it, that's the problem.
Yes, and we're already seeing some of the things we saw in Libya starting to happen. So.
Yeah. And in Libya, it took Libya 10 years to finance. You know what? We're tired of going hungry. Okay, at some point, we're tired of going hungry. Well, I want to ask you this, Dr. Reef.
Sure.
Now that it's collapsed, how come they don't take the sanctions off of Syria? What's the issue with that?
Well, sanctions are like a tool of control, just in case some sort of organization happens. So. It's number one. Number two, the politics of sanctions and the negotiations around it, even at domestic level, is very difficult. It's easy to execute, but it's very difficult to remove because as long as those sanctions are in place, you prevent any form of political organization at domestic level, and you prevent any economic potential. So it's very useful to maintain the kind of disruption that you see in that place. Meanwhile, you have all this shadow economics, right? So whereas at a formal level you have the sanctions, it's pretty much the same thing you have with the Russians. Well, at the formal level you have the sanctions, which means it keeps the state as an entity in its control, contained. You can open up sort of alternative shadow mechanisms that you can use to access and control, whether it's the hydrocarbon assets or contain the agricultural assets that Syria has, etc. So it's a status quo tool that they can basically use particularly in relation to Syria, whenever they want to. So there's no incentive really to remove those sanctions anyway. Even if Assad is gone, any future government that comes in will still have to deal with those sanctions, and that means you still have to compete with that.
It makes them okay. You have a new government come in that you essentially help put in power, right?
Yeah.
With the sanctions, it makes them people harder to govern.
Yeah, but the interest is not necessarily to have that government govern its own people. The interest is to maintain effective control over any form of government that comes in at a future point.
Yeah,
so
but thing is, we want to carve up the country, okay? So, and if people have to be willing to go along with it without kind of rising up and going back at you. So, I'm just curious.
The issue is destabilization. There's no interest in any sort of stabilization.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
So if they had an interest in stabilization of the state, then it would not make sense. Your point would be right.
Okay.
But if your interest is the effective control and sort of dismembering of that state, keep it dysfunctional. That means you can maintain whatever projections you want and assets you have over there without too much scrutiny or too much local government control. Then it makes sense to keep those sanctions in place. Just even if there's let's say the current guys, the HTS people, form some sort of quasi-state structure like what we had in Libya, they still have to deal with those sanctions anyway. So it's a means of effective control.
If you keep the sanctions on, say the government is already in there, you're going to recreate the same person you just kicked out.
Yep, then you repeat the cycle because it's very cheap.
Cycle. No, that's
true. It's very cheap. There's no real cost to the West or to the United States, really. The cost is outsourced. So it doesn't really matter so much unless you get the kind of blowback that you're getting with Europe. Then now those mechanics have to come into play, which is what is happening.
Hey, Dr. Marifa, they sent delegates over there last week. It was in the news and everything. Yeah. Did anything come from that for them? Anything came out of what the delegates from the U.S. Got from any information from Syria, or are we not tracking any statements they put out yet?
Yeah, but most of it is a sort of legitimation exercise at this point. So, insofar as the core interests of those, let's call it assets, and you would know a lot of those assets that are there, those ones are already within effective control anyway. So the issue is to try and sort of reimagine and create a sort of Vichy type mechanism so that you have a sort of semblance of a state and then have some sort of control so that, or contained control. Pretty much what you saw with Ayad Alawi in Iraq right after the insurgency, right? So those delegates are basically going there to sort of try and reorganize that politics around that place. They're not really interested in what's going to happen below the formal state, if you like. Those structures have some sort of functional diplomacy.
So what's the strategic plan of it? From
what
will it be the strategic
containment
advantage for that?
You don't want another Iraq, pretty much. Because as BGS has been right, to point. So already you're starting to see moves, right, between the Kurds and the Turks, the Alawites and the Christian groups are starting to organize themselves. So we're already having the sort of groundswell of some sort of breakdown of order, if you like. Well, there's no order, but a move towards escalation of insurgency, right?
Right.
And so all the factions, just like Libya, what happens is once you remove the issue with powerful state structures like Libya, Iraq, Syria had pretty much the same thing. Is once you take it out, you create that vacuum, and that vacuum sucks everything, right? And so in this particular instance, and you still have the a lot of people in Iraq still very upset about what's happening in Libya in terms of the militias who are sent to the border and then held back. And you have a lot of debate in Lebanon. Yes, they went through the war with Israel, etc., but they still were willing to put um, soldiers and resources into Syria. So you have all these factions that are sort of just ready to go, and the Kurds already know that Erdogan wants to make a move on them. And so at the higher level, amongst the powers that are involved in this, that's why now because was talking about Turkey and the United States kind of having a problem on their hands. But below that, where you have the HTS people, they also have a similar problem to what um, the what do you call it, Brenner had in Iraq, where because of what they are doing in terms of going after all these groups that were allied to Assad, so-called Baathists, etc. You're now having a momentum towards some sort of insurgency.
Yeah.
And
So what I
so the
was saying
whole
is,
point
if I
is to
could interrupt you
control
real
that.
quick, Doctor. So what
Yep.
the super chat just was saying was what I was bringing up to BGS was the
Yep.
Greater Israel Initiative, right? So
Yes.
they have
Mm.
the map of them going into
Yep.
Syria, part
They
of
already
Iraq,
are.
and
They
then
already
part
are.
of.
Yeah.
So I know that they have their forces
Yep.
to both the north and the south, but I'm saying
Yep.
for them to do the expansion, the part that they're going into is the Christian side of
Yes.
Syria, where that
Yes.
Christian
That's
sect
true.
is, which would be
Yep.
more amenable to them coming in and taking over, basically. Which is what I'm saying is, if it was an orchestrated effort, not of the fall of Assad, of course, but of the overall geopolitical space of Trump ending the time with Ukraine, most likely giving up half of Ukraine to Russia because that would take more than 3 or 4 decades for them to rebuild in the first place, and then focusing back onto the Middle East and CENTCOM of Israel then pushing into further their expansion into Syria to its east.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think on the broad level, you're right. The only sort of sort of unpredictable factor there was the speed at which um, the Syrian government would have fallen. But yes, this is a part of the Israel has now seen an opportunity to really fast track that Greater Israel project, and there's a lot of incentive now to push Trump into that. Of course.
Well, if Assad is gone, then basically it's not as big a deal as it was if he was there. And the thing is, but
Yeah.
do you have enough money and manpower to actually double the size of your country, especially when they're hostile to you?
Yes. Now that's the thing. It's good on paper
Yeah, it's good
until
on paper. Yeah.
until you
It
get in
breathes
there,
well.
just like
It breathes well.
Do they worry?
Be careful what you wish for. Okay.
Do they worry about? And do they worry about another insurgency?
I mean,
Or
you're gonna you unless okay, what is it? Either you feed them or you fight them. Okay, and if you're not feeding them, then you're gonna have to fight them. And this is what instead of trying to push the Palestinians into Sinai, you just push them into Syria. Okay, that's what's probably gonna happen.
yeah, I think that's what's going to really happen because it kills two birds with one stone.
they try to. Whether or not it
That makes
happens is
logical
completely
sense. But
question.
things we know these people aren't always logical.
No, very
Yep.
rarely. What did I always tell you? They rarely are.
Yeah.
Yep. Ideological. But anyway,
Ideological. Yeah.
It's
BS, I
ideological.
just wanted to say greetings to you, and I'm sorry I have to bounce.
Oh,
I have two cases, one at the ICJ to follow up. And
and happy
they don't pay you enough, man. I keep saying that.
and happy New Year,
and
Doctor. What did
Happy
you
New Year to you, sir.
and what did
Happy
you
New
do?
Year.
But I'm hearing, man, the passport bros are making a big splash, man. Because my younger brother was talking about talking to passport bros and visiting Nairobi. So evidently, it's a big thing. And passport bros and expats are a big thing in Kenya right now.
Yeah, it's it's a friendly environment also because you know you have a lot of those agencies. So the expert experience has been there for a long time. So if you're gonna visit, Nairobi is a very good place to start. You know, and you still have a lot of that familiarity. You know, you don't have to make very big adjustments.
No, it's not like going to Namibia or something like that.
Exactly.
Going where?
Nambia.
Exactly. But yeah,
send me to the
Namibia,
African
is it?
Or Angola or the DRC.
Namibia.
Oh yeah, because you gotta learn Portuguese or you gotta learn
No,
French.
plus your standard of living will take a steep hit. Okay.
Precisely.
I mean, the only place I can think of similar to like Nairobi would be like Kampala, the capital of
Not
Uganda,
even
to a
close.
lesser extent.
Not close.
I said to a lesser
No.
extent.
I would say the next place will probably either be Northern Africa or down the south, which is South Africa, like Cape Town and Johannesburg, places like that. That's probably the next
Well, where in
closest.
Northern Africa is that? We wonder.
Kampala is like a small town there, so
you go to
in Kenya.
Morocco,
It's not
places
in
like
Nairobi.
Morocco and places like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Marrakesh, there's
Marrakesh, Cairo
Tangier,
itself.
Casablanca.
Exactly.
Cairo's Egypt.
Tangiers, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, gotta go. And also, there's another issue. I'm sure you've heard of the European gas issue, so I'm also on that.
Oh,
So
that you know.
we're gonna
I
talk
mean,
about that.
yeah, we could talk about that, man. Basically, I mean,
Exactly.
talk about shooting yourself in the foot. Okay. I mean, does the United States still like Europe at all? Okay. Or do you really want to play for
They've
them
never
much?
liked them.
No.
Because I mean, my goodness, were you trying to destroy Europe altogether or what, man? It just doesn't make sense.
I mean, right now they're probably shitting their pants because of who's coming back into power.
You know, I mean, if Putin really wants to, just could have shut all the gas off. You know, you guys figure it out, okay? And buy this LNG on the other side, which is more expensive.
It's funny because doesn't Russia power like about 80% of Europe?
It used to be like half, but it depends on what country that you're in. Yeah.
All you need is to power Germany. That's it. You don't need.
That's why I said that's what that convinced me white supremacy is truly real. Okay, when you're willing to sacrifice yourself for a cause. I said, okay, you guys are just all in. So I said, I'm done. Okay, I know what you guys are on, and you're willing to go down to the mat with this kind of stuff. So if the EU wants to shut it off, go ahead, let them shut it off, man. At this point, basically, same thing with Syria. Russia said, you know what? Psst, you know what? It costs us too much money anyway. And now I understand HTS is begging them to stay.
Yes.
They are. What do you mean by that, though, BGS? They'll go to the mat for. What
in my opinion, and this is just on me. This is my opinion because you're on the panel. Okay, it's just my opinion. All right. Okay. Ukraine was a lost cause. Okay, I don't care how you fund Ukraine. Okay, outside of the full force of NATO and all 20 countries of NATO, you're not going to beat the Russians. Okay. Russia could have turned Ukraine into a parking lot within months if they wanted to, but they didn't. Okay, what they did do, what they found out slowly but surely, is that they could drain the West of all its weapons and its money, and that's literally what happened. Okay, but the thing is that
basically a war of attrition.
It's a war of attrition.
Exactly what I was going to say.
It's a war of attrition. But the thing is, you just formed a cauldron, right? Okay. In other words, if you're going to keep pushing money and weapons into this sector, okay, they got to come from someplace. If we produce way more than you do, guess what's going to happen? Now you sucked all the money and weapons into one place, right? Which is Ukraine. Okay. You can't cover Africa. You can't cover South America. You can't cover Asia, okay? All your weapons, all your money is going in one place. And once Gaza broke out, now all your forces in two spots, okay?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think it was I forget what country it was today that said that formally that Europe is completely kicked out of the continent. Outside,
what's so funny? What's so funny, BGS, is that I don't know if you all follow like when Tucker Carlson left, and he literally just interviewed the one of the foreign, basically diplomats from Russia, not a week ago, and he said exactly what you were just saying. He said that what you're doing is basically giving the EU a death note, and then also expending yourself to a point that we are nowhere near being expended to if we decide to take this war on for another 5 to 10 years.
You can't because, like I said, because you're up against a budget crisis in 5. Okay, at best, and I think Hex just tried to allude to this. You got to 2027 to figure this stuff out. Okay, because if you don't, you will have you don't. Basically, Russia and China are actually outproducing you as far as weapons. Russia 10-1, China 20-1. Okay. You're not going to catch them. That's number one. Number two, they produce the weapons and systems at 20 cents on the dollar compared to yours. Okay.
And what is their male population?
Yeah, their male. Well, we ain't gonna talk about that.
What is their fighting age population?
You're not even. Here's the real question. Don't talk about their male population. Let's talk about the population who knows they're male.
Well, that's true. But what I'm saying is they have 6 times the male population that the United States does.
Yeah. And then on top of that, it's not going to be Iraq and Afghanistan where you're basically fighting motherfuckers who got the technology of the 17th century. Okay.
Well, the thing is, you go back to World War II, right? Okay. Why was the United States so dominant in World War II? Because they had the biggest
we mass-produced.
You had the biggest manufacturing base on the planet, right? You don't have that anymore.
Even though the Panzer tanks were superior, they couldn't produce as much as the fucking.
So, in other words, yeah, you can't produce an F-22, but the thing is, you can produce 100 times the number of J-20s.
What did they say, BGS? You don't need to go to McDonald's. We got McDonald's at home.
You got McDonald's at home.
Yeah. You know what's so funny is that 2 years ago, I think I brought it up on a panel. I went to AUSA, which is basically the association for, the United States Army, where they host every single year. And exactly what you just said is all that they're training for is a fight for a near peer threat, is what they call it.
Yeah.
So a near peer threat would be us against China, us against Russia, us going up against them in simulations, us going up against them in a lot of our warfighting techniques and everything. And there's no way that we would do anything like how we did when we went to World War II. No, and that's coming from somebody that's in right now, that's gone through. I'm not even an infantryman, and I'm Ranger qualified, and I'm going through all these schools, and I see the tactics that are being used, and it still doesn't seem as though.
And are your military realists don't consider Russia a peer threat? Okay.
Well, you got to realize
the U.S. Let me tell you this: the U.S. does not think that anyone in the world is a peer threat to us. But that's the problem. Yeah, exactly.
No. Listen to Mearsheimer, right? Listen to Wilkerson. Listen to McGregor. All these old timers. They know who the peer threat is. Basically, go back and look at the neocons in PNAC, right? They knew who the peer threat is. It's China. China's the only one.
And here it is, right?
Economically, now it wasn't militarily before, but economically, they were actually a peer threat. Now, militarily, they were a peer threat.
Well, and here it is, right? You're gonna have tactically and technically, you're gonna have a difference of a soldier, because now we're still in the urban warfare doctrine. So it's not like we have these clear battlefields and you meet us at this side and we'll come at this side. We put a line in the middle. You're gonna go back into your unconventional / urban warfare scenario, but this time now you have drones. Now you have all kinds of sneaky little shit that's gonna be pulled out.
Yeah. It's it hasn't even been defined. Well, that's one thing that Ukraine did was actually an experimental situation on the modern technology, which you have drones and satellites and all kind of crap, right? Hypersonics, all that kind of stuff. It's all been used and tested in Ukraine, okay? And that kind of warfare fighting, and then how much can you produce?
Yeah.
And do you know what they're sending most of the DoD funds into now as well? Just as this is probably just general knowledge, is that they're emboldening and bolstering up the space branch. They are creating it instead of it just becoming a functional area where I myself or any other officer, enlisted soldier could go over to or warrant. It's now going to become a branch under Trump. He said that he's going to be going in, and there's big talks about that becoming the actual new warfare, space warfare, cyber warfare, all the time.
Well, that's the new frontier.
When he was in before, he said that. He said the same thing.
That's why he created.
Yeah, he created that, but they're bolstering it up now. Most of the funds are going to start going in. It's going to be crazy.
Of course, you got the same guy coming in. What does he want, right?
And here it is. It's like you only got 2 nations that has a space force, us and Great Britain. So
that we know of.
Well, openly, that has an official branch.
Official branch, yes.
But
yeah, thank you very much for the knowledge, guys. Happy New Year. I just wanted to come in and ask you those.
Long time no see, man.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm glad that you're doing well, man. Did you get married?
Yeah, I got married. I got a son. I got another child on the way. We just found out yesterday.
Okay.
So
How old is the boy?
He's 15 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's quite an age gap.
Is the wife acting right?
Oh, she's amazing. I can't complain.
Okay. You living the life of Riley then right now.
Yeah.
Lucky bag.
How was the advice that we gave you?
I think it was great. I don't argue. I don't entertain drama. Most of the things that you all talk about with women specifically, I think that I've taken most of that in and absorbed it. But I've been getting told that from men older than me for a very long time. So it was very interesting to hear because most of my family is not the norm. All my parents are married, uncles married, aunts married. So I see what a functional relationship is supposed to look like. And
congratulations on Ranger School completing that, because now your shit's gonna go through. You're basically on the fast track.
Yeah. To be honest with you, because I think I had told you guys back in the day I was a general's aide. So when I was a lieutenant, so like I don't really. But the thing that's like really becoming disillusioned with me is that I'm not going to be able to use any of these things that I've been able to accrue with, whether it's badges or tabs and stuff, past the next 3 or 4 years because I'll be a desk jockey.
Yeah, but you have knowledge of how the whole web works, and that's an advantage.
Yeah, it is.
You get on the ground. Yeah,
it's not about if you
but I really want to go. I want to go back to what Fauci is doing though, because I was at a brokerage firm a year before I joined the military.
Okay.
So I want to go back to that style of work-life balance because this is just this time away from family. And I know you guys have children. Like I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but I hate being away from my family. I'm not one of those people that go to work. Like I see a lot of people that I work with. They're like, oh, like I'm gonna stay late. You know, I just know because you hate your wife, or your wife hates you, or you don't like your kids.
Yeah.
So, I'm not that way.
Basically, I mean, what's your contract? 6 years?
No, I had a 3 year, so I went street to seat. So I'm basically 3-year contract. My contract ended 2 years ago.
Okay.
So
yeah, I'll make Ranger in the next 4 years.
Okay. I'm just like this. Take it as far as you can, but get as much. Go to every. This is for who's the other guy who just made officer in the Navy? Christopher the Conqueror. Here's some good advice from an old. Am I considered an old soldier yet?
Yeah.
Fuck you. But anyway, but I'm mad you said it that quick, nigga. But
nigga, when you get past 30, you're an old soldier, motherfucker.
Old soldier.
Hey, you now you're a salty dog. That's how bad you are.
You old salt, as they say.
Fear the old man in the profession with a good die young. That's what I say. But,
because by the time you get your age, you're collecting a pension, man.
You got to think about it. Like, take as many schools as you can, because it's going to benefit you and your family in the long run. There's a lot of Americans who don't have the survival skills, and trust me, I'm going to give you a good piece of advice. Start a business, start an LLC, and when you get out, start a training course. People are going to pay for them skills. That's why you go to the schools, not just for what you do in there, but after. Look how many white boys start channels nowhere near your education, but could do shoot guns on YouTube, making millions a year.
Facts.
Look how much you could go traveling. Like, I'm an instructor. People call me just to, hey, how do you use this weapon system? if you know, you're definitely an old soldier, Charles. Oh, good. Congratulations, or fuck you, Christopher.
Yeah.
Still
Then, yeah. Last thing too here, Charles and BGS and everybody else on the panel is number one is the I want to do. You know that you talk about the windfall of the transfer of wealth from the boomers to Gen X and millennials. I'm going to be getting that big windfall from my family in time coming in probably the next 20, 30 years. Lord willing, my parents live a long life. I want to go into franchising and open up Smoothie Kings and all that type of stuff. That would be like the great thing that would be for me is I want to be a franchisee, and that would be what I would like to do in my future when I get out, because they give you a $500,000 VA loan for business if you do the 20 years or if you do any of your years besides just education. But my last question would be, and I'll hop off, is what do you think about the Panama Canal thing they're talking about? Seeing that Jimmy Carter super chat just reminded me.
Basically,
I was born there. My dad was stationed there. And
basically, the Chinese run the Panama Canal. They leased it from Panama. So you're going to have a pretty big squabble trying to come in and take it back unless you're going to do it by force. And that's you're going to cause all kind of ripples all the way up and down the whole third world.
That'll be
trying to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And why are you doing it in the first place?
I don't know. I saw Trump bring it up the other week. So he was talking about how horrible of a deal that Jimmy made, and it was the worst deal ever in history to be giving it back to the Panamanians when we were the ones that built it, basically police and all that stuff. So
you made money off it for 100 years. What are you talking about?
I don't
know. Unless you're going to go down and occupy the country. I mean, that's a standard deal. I mean, it goes back. The land doesn't belong to you, okay? Even though you built it, it doesn't belong to you. You leased it for 100 years, okay? You got to get. It's like Hong Kong, just like the Suez Canal with Egypt, okay? It doesn't belong to you unless you're going to go down and occupy the country.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what your thoughts were on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We're talking about fairness or what?
Strength. I don't know what it's going to do.
I mean, unless you want to turn Panama into Puerto Rico, you can do that.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
And the thing is, from my understanding, white people do not fight very well in that climate. So
nope, more people died in Vietnam or down in Panama than.
Happy New Year, gentlemen. How are you?
Hey, pretty good.
Hey, do we have any Negroes that want to join the military?
Yeah, well, you got tons of them. You got some, but things you have a lot of MS-13 that probably want to go back to the military, but that's beside the point. What I'm saying is, how far do you actually want to take this? Okay, if you want to control the Panama Canal again, you have to go back down and occupy the country. Is that something that you actually want to do at this stage of the game?
I don't think so. Isolationists. I think that's what they're going to turn to. They're going to go.
Yeah, you're going to. Well, the thing is, it's moving so fast. In 20 years, you're going to have to make you have to make a choice in 5. Okay, what you're going to do? Either you're going to spend with little capital and money social capital, because you run out of social capital, and capital and money and weapons that you fight for to hold on to what you have, or you're actually going to accept what's going to go on. And everybody that I'm hearing said, you're not going to stop it. All you can do is slow it down.
Great wisdom. I didn't even think about it like that. Social capital for the United States is falling.
At a low, man. Because you're getting the Syria thing. You had a win. Yeah, Ukraine thing. You got a little bolster. You got Europe behind it. The thing is, you lost what 3/4 of the world at the same time. Because I think I'll find it. But the thing is, you go to Inside China Business. He said South America is doing 90% of its trade with China. You lost that trade, okay? Africa is doing what 80% of its trade with the global South, okay? So basically, you're isolated. Europe and the United States are pretty much isolated, okay? Mexico, if you press too hard, they're gonna flip too.
That's crazy, absolutely crazy.
Absolutely crazy because you have a socialist president down there. Obrador is sidekick, his protege, and it's a female and a socialist, okay, and she's about a hair's breadth from joining the BRICS. What do you do then?
I don't know what they're gonna do.
What I'm saying, I'm sure all this stuff will come up in conversation at some point in your career,
Yeah, it will. A lot of stuff is just focusing on exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people miss thinking that I don't know if it's an outward show of, pride always comes before the fall.
Yes.
But I think that the military is going to be, normally they were the ones that were leading the way with innovation and equality, whatever you want to say it is in the military. But I think that they've gotten so lost in their ways with how powerful they think we are because of the weapon systems that we have, the size of our department, that they feel like we're not, we're still at some point of hierarchy.
You know what? Ukraine was a wake up call because everything they assumed about China and Russia were wrong. Okay, because they assumed that Russia had the same amount of weapons and shells and all the kind of stuff that we had, right? So they figured that Russia, at the rate they were burning through their munitions, they would run out in 2 months. Okay, 3 years later, they're still running. So they were wrong. Okay, and if Russia has that much, you know how much China has. So a lot of our assumptions, I don't know who did who our spies or who our intelligence is, but they were way off by an order of 10. And so, at this point now they're scrambling to figure out, what the truth actually is. How much do they really have? What kind of power do they really have? What kind of economic power do they really have? How a parallel financial system is actually going to work. Right. The second thing that baffled them was when the BRICS actually opened up their economic platform. Right. They didn't think it would work. They didn't, and it does.
Sounds like a very rude awakening. What did Kevin used to say? The winter's here.
The winter soldier. The Snow King is here. But the thing is, what I don't understand is Europe sacrificing themselves for this idea. It still baffles me. I don't get it. In fact, it wasn't Macron. It was somebody else that said the same thing. It was actually Soros that warned the French, right? While you still have money and you still have power, you need to make friends down in Africa before it's too late. Okay, he warned them that back maybe 10 years ago. Okay, they didn't heed his warning. Now they're here. I mean, sometimes I feel sorry for them because they're gonna have a really rough time from here on out. They really are. So I feel sorry for them.
Back to the medieval times, man.
I hope it's not that bad, but yeah,
I
but
hope
you know.
so. I hope not.
Hey, it is what it is. I'm just happy that I was telling people like 20 years ago. I said you're gonna live to see the end of white supremacy. You will live to see the end of it. And people said, I said we'll be long dead, and our kids will be long dead before it happens. Just wait. I said, and you're on the. I'm not saying that it's dead, but you're on the cusp of it right now.
Every demographic of people has had their time of rulership in the world. So I think that the Europeans, as fast as they've risen, they'll fall just as fast.
Well, the thing is, the PNOC said we panel for New American Century. They wanted to extend it, I guess it didn't work. But we'll see. Yeah.
They took, that's what happens when we get selfish with power. You got to give something. So
well, you assume.
Yeah, but their empire has lasted for such a short period of time. It's just very interesting to see. Like they've built all of this stuff, and it's gonna fall just as quick. And I would love to hear a video from you, BGS, on whether it's behind the wall or whatever it is, on what is the black man's role in all this, and how should he be moving.
Okay, I might be able to do it. I've done it before, but the thing is basically a lot of the things that I said, guys, got to be 2007, 2008, which means what? God, I can't believe it's been, it's been 17 years, 18 years, man, since I've said it.
Which means we're both old.
No, man, I'm ancient right at this point. But
that nigga's like
motherfucker.
But a lot
down that ancient road.
yeah. But a lot of stuff I said back then, and people thought I was absolutely
coming home to roost.
It's coming step by step, exactly as I thought it would.
Exactly how you outlined it in the playbook.
Yeah, same thing with Russia. Same thing with with Russia and Ukraine thing. Okay. I said,
man, you
step
call that
by step.
You call that Russia-Ukraine thing a while back.
A while back.
I'm a Johnny come lately when it comes to your streams. I'm hitting your archives and I'm doing the math and putting it together, and it's like, man, he called this a long time ago.
The only thing that surprised me was that spitter that came down the middle, man, and dropped off the plate, was called Syria. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. Okay.
You not breaking out Gaylord Perry on me, man.
Yeah, the one thing you didn't expect. You see fastball,
You are not
and,
breaking out Gaylord Perry on me with that damn spitball.
and all of a sudden that spitter comes down the middle, man.
And it drops off the damn plate.
Yeah, what the fuck is
I'm
that?
gonna just tell you what a lot of black men should do.
Yeah, and we go ahead finish up. We're gonna let V go.
A lot of black men should do what you're doing now. Get the skills because they're not only going to pay the bills, but they'll help you survive whatever's coming.
Yeah,
go good, bad, and positive. They should really take your track of going to some of these units and some of these qualification schools because one thing that really hurts black folks, we don't have enough training centers, we don't have enough skills. You can never have.
And Jody were talking about earlier about me getting certificates to show what I can what I can do, and if not, starting the programs to put them together. Because there's a few folks that she knows that wants to get into what I do.
Yeah. All right. Are you gone, V, or you gonna stay?
Yeah, I'm gonna head out, but I appreciate it, y'all. Happy New Year.
All right.
Happy New Year.
Guns, make sure you know how you go to firing range this month.
kiss the babies for us.
All right, be safe, man. If you can't be silent, be deadly.
Gotcha.
I have a message from my beauty to both Charles and to BGS. Two of them, actually. One is Happy New Year from both of us. And two, in a playful fashion, y'all both wrong for starting that am I married to a black woman joke. That one.
Let me read this. Does Biden and the USA have the colonies to pay the curse for aggressively supporting the neocon mission since Bush Jr.? By giving them a piece of Syria? We'll see. I hope they do. I mean, if you're going to break up Syria, you might as well go ahead and settle all the debts. That's my opinion. See, we've got one more. It said, got a salute to the Equalizer as well, and great conversation with V as well. Hope to pick it up. We'll be listening in the background. Okay, appreciate you, Doc.
All right,
Cyrus says, Space Branch, Halo's theme intensifies. Yes, it does. Okay. Shout out to Elon Musk. Okay.
I'm gonna take a page out of your book, BGS, and start doing some stuff behind the wall on my Patreon. And my first subject is Caitlin Clark.
Oh, hey!
All the cuss words are gonna come out.
Hey! You need to do one. That's the big thing that's going on right now. Go to TikTok, and all the feminists are reacting to what Charleston White said about Angel Reese.
Oh shit!
What did he say? What did he say exactly?
Are you handing me a fat fastball right there?
I am handing.
Wait a minute. Are you handing me a 12-6, knowing that'll speed my bat up?
It'll speed your bat up, and basically, along with the stewardess and the cocktails, go along with it on top of that ball, man. On its way out.
Wait, don't you mean more like the Bugs Bunny slow ball?
No.
Wait.
That fastball didn't hit over center.
Let me look this up right now. Charleston White and Angel Reese. Is that what you're?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
On the Jeff Teague show.
What did he say?
All right. What does One Eye Bastard say?
Okay. So basically, BGS, being the baseball rat that he is, and is handing me a walk-off pitch.
A walk-off pitch, yeah.
He's handing me a walk-off pitch.
That's the one you drop the bat and pose for a second.
That's when you drop and pose for a bit. I saw Frank Thomas do it in person a couple of times at New Comiskey Park. New Comiskey Park. Okay, I got to see this, because if that's one I can put up behind the wall after I do college basketball this weekend, then I'm gonna load it up.
After I read the super chats, I'll play it for you guys. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Cam says, rest in power, Jimmy Carter, an early member of the Trilateral Commission. Their book, The Crisis of Democracy, was a document on the systematic dumbing of the populace to prevent the revolutionary fever of the 60s. He's no saint. I liked him, but he was no saint. No president is a saint. Okay. You can't be. And they actually, instead of dumbing us down, they did it. But the thing is, they also handed over the control of the populace to the females. in the 72 with the
bingo.
With the Title IX. Title IX came out was passed right after what was it? The last big protest with the college where they shot
Kent
those
State?
kids. Kent State. Right after Kent State. That's when Title IX was actually implemented.
Passed,
So fuck all this. Yeah, you take all the power away from the men and give it to the women.
And we've been on economic decline since then.
Ever since. Yeah.
I mean, literally, you can see it on the graph.
Yeah. So Damarifa says that's true, and the West cannot offer what the BRICS bloc is. That is true. Yeah. What else it said? It said seems like the Monroe Doctrine was abandoned for the PNAC neoconservative agenda sometime between 1990 and now. Would this be correct? Actually, no, because they were still using the Monroe Doctrine against Venezuela, Brazil, and a couple, even Argentina, right? They're still using it. What really stopped Ukraine actually broke the Monroe Doctrine. That's what actually broke it. Ukraine, because they don't have the force to send people down there anymore. Okay, they don't have the money or the force. So basically, they had to let it go.
You can't project.
You can't project power down there anymore. No. In the 90s, no. But the thing is, Monroe Doctrine, even though it's still in effect, it doesn't have any power behind it. Okay.
One behind the wall I may do.
Okay.
In the next week.
Okay.
Malika fucking Andrews.
Ooh.
I haven't touched it.
Malika, Black Man Andrews.
Her. I haven't touched it on my morning show.
Malika, daughter of a black man, Andrews.
That would be her. But I'm holding on to that one because I want to take BGS's advice and get the real hot topics coming into 2025 and get them out, one public video and one private video. Handle this David Carroll style. And when I do the private video and put it behind the wall, you think BGS is a black George Carlin? Y'all ain't heard me yet.
And shout out to my
get you some cigars then.
And shout out to my one short. I have over 259 views.
Nice.
259K.
Nice.
Which one?
Very nice.
The Batman.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Batman one is hilarious.
That was from the second half of that movie.
That's from that's from the book of The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, Dark Knight Returns.
He fucks him up badly.
Oh, he took him apart surgically.
Let's remember what the caption is. Beware the old man in the profession where the good die young. I'm old for a reason.
Yeah. Also, Snowman?
Yes, sir.
We'd be remiss not to mention how much of a fucking cunt this individual is, by the way.
Uh-oh.
Malika Andrews, she's a cunt? No.
We'd be remiss if we forgot to mention how many discretions she's had as an ESPN anchor. Just to take her, like how she always be remiss if we don't mention that shit.
Wasn't that the one Stephen A had to get in her ass about?
Yes.
No. Oh, excuse me. This is not how it goes. This is my show. You don't tell me how to talk. I heard what you had to say, but let me talk. Fucking rat bastard, as Baseman would call him, or Negro Knight.
Negro Knight. I might do a live stream. I might have a featured guest if the motherfucker's up. I'd be one.
How soon we talking here?
There's a few I'm gonna put under the. You know what? I think I just got my title for my Patreon streams. Under the Microscope. Under the Microscope. There's something. I'm waiting for BGS to play the fastball he's going to throw right down the middle for me for my first episode of Under the Microscope.
Wait a minute. Shouldn't we get you a number 35 Chicago White Sox jersey for that one?
There's a
couple. Are you about the same size as this motherfucker?
There's a couple jerseys that I want. There's a couple jerseys that I want. Now, let me say Happy New Year to everyone. Oh, here it is.
Y'all ready?
Let her ready.
Yeah.
Charleston White, he made some jokes that made people on Twitter a little uncomfortable. Take a listen.
About it, like regardless of that conversation, because I think it's stupid between who's a better player.
Want to sell pussy. Yeah, I think Angel Reese really don't want to play basketball. I think she want to sell pussy.
Nah, she trying to look, Chuck.
She come out too sexual.
Dub, no, I ain't gonna let you do that one.
You ain't.
She's trying to. I'm trying to have us at the WNBA All-Star.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's your take.
Now, BN will never defend the WNBA, so for him to do this, I love this. I think she's just trying to make sure she don't look like a dude. Like she's trying to keep it like she's trying to brand outside of basketball. Yeah, like I'm a woman. I like men.
Tapping into that whole side. She tapping into that whole side of it.
No, she not. It's so many. It's a WNBA player that look like me and you. So she's trying to make it seem like
more girly. Yeah, she's trying to make it more like you can still be attracted to it. You ain't got to be left-handed to play the W. Basically, what she's saying.
It's a Charleston White and a BN on the FIFA right there. Woo, she's trying to switch the narrative, bro.
I'll take that, dude.
And they dress it like this. So.
I'll take that.
And then Charleston White would talk about how he agrees with Shaq, referring to when Shaq went to Angel Reese's podcast and talked about the best way to get the ratings is for the women to wear shorter shorts or even play in their underwear.
But I still think she need to do OnlyFans, like Shaq said. She need to dunk in her panties. Shaq told her that. Shaq told her she needed to go dunk in her panties. I'm with Shaq.
Shaq didn't say that. He was out of pocket. Is wild to say
that. Y'all, stop.
I'm with you, Shaq. I'm with you. Some lace panties. Not no boy shorts. I'm with you, Shaq.
Charles said not the boy shorts?
No, dunk in some panties with no bra on. Watch what them numbers do. That's how you sell tickets.
Nah, we don't need that. That's why we got Caitlin. Caitlin keeping it cool.
Yeah, Caitlin keeping it cool.
You know what I mean? It's girls that look like Caitlin that are straight. She's trying to say, hey, I have a man. You know what I mean? Push that narrative.
Yeah, y'all call it.
Angel Reese is trying to push some sex appeal to the WNBA. Like we ain't all dressing
when they on the road. Yeah, most of them hoes sucking on the road.
Well, mass majority of them are for sure.
Yeah, nigga, they putting pressure on the ones that ain't.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That is true. That's a fact. Unspoken about things.
They probably suck till your hair catch on fire. Who wouldn't want their head smoking? Yeah, man, I'll make my woman quit the NBA.
Shit, man. You know what's funny? I thought about Home Alone when his hair was on fire.
Yeah, man.
It's a lot of jellyfish in the WNBA.
Excuse me? Jellyfish. What else happened this year, man? Do not let this shout out to the WNBA, man. All-Star game coming soon. We trying to tap in. We need the back. It's in NAP, too. You got to pull back up the W All-Star game, man.
You can go sit down and talk to him about that.
Man, I ain't finna watch no hoes play no basketball.
Come on. Oh, we got to go.
I ain't finna watch no hoes play no basketball. This ain't got nothing to do with the podcast. They can't dunk. Can't none of them dunk from the
They are dunking now, though. It's a couple of them. You got to watch it, bro. You got to tap in. Like, you know who Juju Watkins
Man, we need an OnlyFans WNBA game. Yeah, then I tune in. Wow. I ain't finna watch them long leg women run up and down the court.
And since they talk about wanting to collab with the WNBA, people on Twitter think this may not be the best way to go about it. As someone would say, having an ignorant sexist on and then actually dropping the episode and then wanting to collab with the W is crazy work. And then current WNBA player Mackenzie Forbes would say, just seen that Jeff T clip. Bro, what the F are we actually doing? Just the most sexist, misogynist stuff you've ever heard. Unedited and said with all the confidence in the world, knowing it will go unchecked. Take these dudes' mics away, man. And Shaq, you are not innocent either. That idea that just because someone says something on a podcast, people should take their mics away becomes a common thread within the critiques. It's not just, I disagree and I'm never gonna watch that show. It becomes, I disagree, and because I don't like how I feel, based off the words that you said, you should lose your sponsors. You shouldn't be allowed to make videos at WNBA and allow their partnership to continue. And then if that wasn't enough, this comment will go even further, saying, the way these men on podcasts discuss Angel Reese is our culture. From a clip where a guest says something on your podcast. But
that's basically it.
He's unfiltered. What do you expect? He's gonna say what he wants to say.
They mad because somebody called out hoes being hoes. Oh, Why is everything going to be our culture?
Because we have to be politically correct, sir. That's why.
I'm not politically correct.
Yeah. Well, that's why you. That's why they would take your mic, sir. That's why you come your shadow band.
They're not taking mine.
Mm-hmm.
This is why it's called cancel culture.
It's wrong for a person like me who is married with children to call a spade, right?
Yes, it is.
Am I hearing this correctly?
You're misogynist for saying just because I wear booty shorts to a game, my cheeks are out, and I show up and wilding out in a cat suit. I'm not selling sex.
So it's wrong. So let me see if I'm seeing this fastball slow down to about 20 RPMs a second here. So it's wrong for me to call a spade when Angel Reese sucks ass as a basketball player, and she's using sex to sell herself while not working on her game.
Yeah.
Am I in the ballpark here?
Yes, you are.
Common sense.
Okay. I have my home run swing.
I'm just giving you an idea.
Would you be so kind if you can clip that and send it to me, or send me to the link therein and send me that, please? Because for 30 years,
I just posted in the back chat a video I would like for you to play of Angel Reese.
Okay. All right.
I have cultured myself for 30 years for doing two things: being honest and being honest with my fans. I've been called a hater so many times, LeBron James, hello, for spitting the truth about what I see, what I have seen, and what people have told me. If you suck as a basketball player, I'm going to say it. If you play well, I say nice things. If you don't, I don't say nice things. Period.
Yeah.
That has been me for 30 years. Ain't gonna stop now.
This is Charleston White. When they asked him, he said he should apologize.
Whether they hate it or love it, they come to the line.
Oh, last thing. Will you apologize to Angel Reese?
For what? That hoe still out here acting like she wanted man. No, nigga, that bitch ain't. Man, I'm not apologizing to no hoe that's portraying a hoe. She ain't shit, man. She don't display herself as a basketball player, homie.
She don't.
No other lady in the WNBA.
Won't you go on her podcast?
Play that again, please.
Man, I want to fuck. Man, fuck, nigga, I want to fuck. Let's go on a date and talk why I can't fuck.
Man, she way bigger than you. She's tall.
Man, that's all right. Nigga, lay down and we gonna meet in the middle. Let's see how you talking about. Nigga, lay down and my feet just tap at your ankle.
We'll back it up.
I'm pumping that dick out.
We'll back it up.
They come to the line and say, that hoe, but whether they hate it or love it, they come to the line and say,
last thing. Will you apologize to Angel Reese?
For what? That hoe still out here acting like she wanted man. No, nigga, that bitch ain't. Man, I'm not apologizing to no hoe that's portraying a hoe. She ain't shit, man. She don't display herself as a basketball player, homie.
She don't.
No other lady in the WNBA.
Won't you go on her podcast and top game with her?
Man, I want to fuck.
But that's it. Okay, go ahead. That's man. I got to look up the. Uru says he's got something in the background. So.
Blank. Oh my goodness.
For a player that can't make a layup.
Yes.
For a player that fancied herself for a time as Rookie of the Year, which was, give me this button. God damn it. I'm cussing, but I got to do it. I got to do it the right way. For a player that fancied herself as Rookie of the Year, give me this button. God damn it.
Now that's some bull.
Yeah, we saw her practice, and it wasn't.
We talking about practice. Thank you, Allen Iverson.
It wasn't good.
Great shout to the legendary Allen Iverson for that quote.
And this is what she really does in her spare time, right?
Yo, what is this? It's a poster girl's dress. It should look like an American Girl doll dress. Yo, put it to your body.
Goddamn.
Put it to Yo, what is this?
You cannot make this shit up, right?
I thought that was some baby doll clothes.
What now? Brad Sanders he put on her 6-foot ass.
Wait, give me this button.
Yeah, I mean, so when you see that, I mean, what Charles said about she's selling tail.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, it kind of looked like she's selling tail.
She just proved him right.
You know you can't call a black one a black one that's a hoe. Come on, man.
Shit. I did it for many years in Chicago.
All right, we got about 15, 20 more minutes for us, and we're gonna get out of here. So, anything else?
You can repeat your previous sentence, BGS, and I'll respond the same way I did a moment ago.
You can't call no black woman that's a hoe. Come on, man.
Shit. I did it for many years, and you know why the WNBA is going to have its ears pulled out? Because there's a young lady by the name of Caitlin Clark that wants to play basketball. Period.
Yeah, but what we say?
Don't like it.
Yeah, but what do you say? How WNBA is actually going to make its money by selling what? Clothes, which is sex and drama, right? And which is
it's
this whole season been that.
Yeah. It's what you said correctly 2 years ago, before Caitlin Clark was even drafted.
Right.
Before she even went into her senior year.
Yeah.
And I have a little piece to say to one Cheryl Swoops. She broke the record in 4 years, you dumbass. Look it up. No, people kept playing that clip saying, Snowman, you got to respond to this. I said, I'm going to hold my tongue for a little bit. And when she said that line, I put my glasses on. I went into research mode. Jody accompanied me. Jody looked at me and said, it looks like 4 years to me. Gave me a kiss and walked away. I said, thank you, honey. She said, I dig into research with you. I may not watch basketball as much as you. I may not be as big a sports nerd as you, but I do get into my research. I said, baby, that's all I need to know. Dear Cheryl Swoops, shut the absolute bloody fuck up when you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to records.
I don't know why she was so...
Because Caitlin Clark broke records that Cheryl Swoops couldn't touch. Period.
I mean that's the way it's supposed to be in sports. It's supposed to improve every year.
The records that are set are supposed to be broken.
Yes. Yeah.
Isn't that how legacies are carried on?
Yeah. She's supposed to be at the game when she broke it.
And she didn't show her punk ass.
It was worse than. Sorry, go ahead, BJ.
No, go ahead, finish. Yeah.
It was worse than, like, you remember when Kareem surpassed Wilt, and Wilt made no show, and then when they had the tribute to him, Wilt showed up in a black tank top and had that 30-minute speech. Unlike Kareem, who was at the game when LeBum surpassed him, and then he stood up and handed him the basketball.
Yeah.
And I mean, I got too many feelings about that, and I won't express them here. We're running out of time. I won't express them here.
Well, it sounds like a show.
It is. You know what? Friday. I am off Friday. I'll be back home, I'd say approximately 5 o'clock, but I know that's usually when BGS goes on. So BGS, if you go on regular time on Friday, I will follow it up with a show of my own.
Okay. All right.
And yes, part of this is to help me get on the road so I can start driving again and do some other stuff. I'm just happy I had an opportunity, thanks to a big contribution, to give Christmas to my family. So I knocked it out of the park.
I mean, Angel Reese is doing her best Megan Thee Stallion impression, okay? And you acting like you're not doing anything.
By the way, Snowman.
Yo.
I just got one request.
I'm sorry, I had Winnie at the door. Talk to me.
Oh, hi, Winnie. If you're gonna do a show on Friday, I just ask one request.
Talk to me.
You gotta bring back the boom shakalaka, and we gotta have BGS there because you gotta introduce the master teacher to the baseman because he needs to know the man behind what in the all types of blue hell.
I was on a couple times.
Look, BGS has appeared with bass 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times. Yeah.
Oh, hey, I'm getting old.
He did it once before I moved out here to the current place where I am. When I was up in my in-laws' place, and we had Chris Bass. We had Chris Bass on for an hour.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I remember one time it was Cole's birthday. On Cole's birthday, I remember we all came together.
BGS hung out with us twice in the new place that I'm in now.
Yeah.
You know, and he was with us for an hour.
I was just on.
How bad did he make you laugh?
Oh, when I think the last time I was on, I talked about the NBA is Costco vanilla ice cream right now.
You know what? When you said that, the whole crew fucking died.
They died.
We were bringing out all the old players, all the old school players, and then I see a message from BGS in the chat. Cut and paste 2K, and then he comes on panel with us and says Costco vanilla ice cream. I laughed my head off twice.
Yeah, and they had to remember to talk about post play. Post play? Tell me about post play. Post play.
That's when we broke out the Jim Mora impression for that. Like post play.
Post play.
You serious? Post play.
Well, in the word of one Negro Knight, I just want to say, what?
What the hell?
All types of blue hell.
Thank you.
Matter of fact, BGS was on with me and bass and the entire crew when I first played that clip.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Yep.
When I first I think BGS walked off for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which, BGS, I think you have you and Bass, you need to learn something from Bass about this whole because he talked about being the reformer of hooker whores and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get one of those clothes like he does and learn.
Listen.
Yeah, he needs a hooker whore repellent, extra strength. The extra strength, he needs that.
Let me stop you right there.
Okay.
Neymar. If anybody knows about the hooker whore repellent extra strength, it's BGS, given the fact that he's in Los Angeles.
Oh yes.
Okay. I stand corrected.
Oh yes.
Given the fact that he's not far from and I'm using the old arenas that I know of, seeing that he's not far from the old sports arena, from the Fabulous Forum to the Staples Center, to Chavez Ravine, to the old LA Coliseum. You can make a flip over to Anaheim Stadium, and yes, I'm saying Anaheim Stadium. Fuck what they call it now.
Shouts out to the Quad City.
And he knows about the extra strength because being in Los Angeles, you had to be naturally equipped with the extra strength.
Well, actually, in his case, it'd be the ultimate strength. Ultra strength.
Los Angeles will have the ultimate strength. No, New York would have
ultra
the
strength.
The extra strength would be in Los Angeles because there's the second most populated city, and the extra strength would be in my hometown of Chicago.
Shouts out to the South Side. Oh, by the way, that reminds me.
And to everybody that was cut, that has been coming at me when my opinions over time were proven correct, I just have this for you. Cole, hit it.
Use a troll. Use a troll. I said that use a troll.
And with that said, I have to say, we got ads, folks. Snowman in the Morning is proudly brought to you by Chicago's own Southside Slapbox Academy. Let the scrapping be slapping. And Camel Clutch Wrestling Academy. Either we make you champions or we make you humble.
Okay. Any other? You got 15 more minutes for any other topic.
What's
you guys
wrong
want
with
to bring
the
up?
NBA right now? I keep hearing that ratings are down. Spain, man, it's only the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, it's basically it's turned into a copy and paste EuroLeague where you have 5 people on
the NBA. The death of the NBA will come the second weekend in February.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the second weekend? The second full weekend in February is All-Star Weekend. I don't need to say anymore. I don't need to say
Where they hold
anymore.
it this year?
I don't know.
Where they hosting?
I don't really care.
Some All-Star game? I don't know.
Yeah, All-Star game.
I really don't. Well, just for shits and giggles, let's look it up. 2025 NBA All-Star Game, and they actually pluralized it for this. It's in San Francisco. Son of a bitch. It's
at the Oracle? Oh no!
It's at Chase Center. They're playing the
Chase Centers.
They're playing this bullshit set of. Oh my God, I'm gonna get sick. They have changed. That's behind the wall. That'll go behind the wall. Because if I say it here, I won't have any ammunition to draw in subscribers to my Patreon.
Yeah,
which is what I want to do beginning this weekend. Spain man, all I gotta say is do not put your eyes on the All-Star game at the Chase Center. That's one of the few times I will not look at the Chase Center.
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead, BGS.
I saw something that's on YouTube. I think it was the last 3 minutes. I think it was Minnesota versus the Spurs, right? And
yes.
I saw something I hadn't seen in a long time. No. It's a couple games ago, right? Where Chris Paul forced Wembanyama actually go post up. He took the ball and kept waving him in. Get off that 3-point line. Get in the post, okay?
Get in the post.
Yeah. Hadn't seen that in a long time, okay?
You a big man.
I read that Wembanyama has made more 3-pointers than he's made dunks.
He has.
That's your NBA
2-to-1.
Yeah.
2-to-1 ratio.
7'5" has made more 3-point shots than he's made dunk shots.
Yep.
What does that tell you?
That's why the NBA is losing ratings.
Full All-Star game I watched was 2003 in Atlanta.
Ooh.
And that was Michael's final game. And the sumbitch wound up going double overtime because Jermaine O'Neal was a dumbass and committed a foul on Kevin Garnett. And Garnett dropped 2 free throws with 5 seconds left to force double overtime, and then the Western Conference won in double overtime. That was the last full All-Star game I ever watched. I went to the one in 1988 at Old Chicago Stadium. My entire family went. 18,204 at that All-Star game.
Whoa!
I have the one in New Jersey at the old. Here's a place, BGS, you haven't heard of and heard in a while. The old Brendan Byrne Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Wow, that is old. Yeah.
I got that one. I got the one they played the next year at the Forum. And the one the following year in Denver that went to overtime. I have the one in 87 where they went to overtime at the old, here's a place you haven't heard in a while, the Kingdome.
Ooh, that is Seattle.
The Kingdome.
Yeah.
So from 82 to 88, it went Brendan Byrne Arena. 83 was the Forum. 84 was McNichols Arena. 85 was the Hoosier Dome. 86 was Reunion Arena in Dallas. 87 was the Kingdome, and 88 was Chicago Stadium. And for years, my mother asked me, how do you know this stuff? I watched it and I learned it.
Yeah, well, if you watch it, you know it automatically. It becomes a part of you. Quick question. Does Wembanyama actually sign up for the 3-point shooting contest or the dunk contest?
Quick answer. Don't care.
Anyway, got 5 minutes, guys.
Listen, they're playing Wembanyama out of position.
What's he supposed to be?
They're playing Wemby out. They're playing Wemby out of position. It's BGS, you said it Friday. It's positionless.
It's positionless.
It's positionless.
Yeah.
The old head in me says, get your ass in the post and stay there. And a fellow who's a good friend of mine, the voice of the Spurs, very quietly, echoed the same thing. But let the skills be shown. So I backed off. I kind of suffered the BGS treatment with the Chicago Bulls after Derrick Rose's injury.
Yeah, I almost think Wembanyama needs a center. I almost think they should try to do Hakeem and Sampson thing, because he just is not a center.
I mean, what I'm saying is he's so tall and lengthy. I mean, he's a center. The thing is, are you going to make him play it?
No, Pop's not going to make him play center. He's going to make him play
I don't think they're going to make him play.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Because I saw Karl Anthony Towns playing power forward because he wouldn't go into the post. Come on, get your big ass into the post. What you doing way out here?
Yep.
Old school, you could not be that tall and not be in the post, man.
And
it's
not
not going to happen.
Not be in the post. The first 3 hybrid players I saw, when I say hybrid, I'm talking about having a more than decent post game and can come outside and stand at least 6'10", were Jack Sigma, Tom Chambers, and Bill Laimbeer.
Well, one and done killed the American center. Because all that development, Patrick Ewing stayed at Georgetown for 4 seasons.
4 seasons.
Yeah.
Ralph Sampson stayed at Virginia for 4 seasons. So all that developed Tim Duncan stayed at
Wake Forest.
Wake Forest 4 seasons. So when those guys got in the NBA, they were men and ready to actually play basketball.
And to close this out, they did something that folks don't do now: develop.
Yeah. Well, you develop. College gives you the space and the opportunity to develop those skills because you're not playing the very best, athletes or whatever on earth. You could develop over time, but this one and done thing, you can't really develop a center, a post game, all those kind of sophisticated movements as a 19-year-old. You just can't.
Yeah, Lonzo Mourning in Georgetown, for example, 4 years. Who else?
Larry
Hakeem,
4 years. Yeah,
Hakeem played 4 years at the University of Houston.
Hakeem came out. He came out in his junior year. He was kind of rare, but Hakeem was so
Hakeem was ready.
So great. Yeah, he was ready. Yeah,
Hakeem was ready. He rapidly had learned the position, transferring from soccer, which gave him the footwork, to basketball with the late great Guy B. Lewis.
Given his height and everything, because remember, he shot up in height. You're too tall to play soccer. The tallest players I've ever seen that play soccer were like 6'9". Yeah. That's how tall you can get. Jan Koller comes to mind. That's a Czech guy, but the problem for him was like being that height. He had a tendency to twist his knee or pull a hamstring. He missed it. I remember when he was in when he played for Czech Republic in the World Cup, scored 3 goals, but had to be pulled out afterwards because he pulled a hamstring.
And
that's hamstring. Oh, you pull that hamstring, you fucked.
Yeah.
This
is what happened at the Target Center.
This is old school point guard. Telling what he
post.
Made it a 2-possession ball game by making the first. Paul.
Look at.
Gives it up to Wembanyama. Wembanyama step through. Oh my goodness!
That's old school.
One quick step.
I like Paul going to the Spurs for that very reason. I like.
Who had one of the best?
He called for it in the corner. He showed him no. Get your ass.
2 centers. The two of the centers I've watched over the years that had the best drop step, one step, not 4, LeBron, to the hoop, were Hakeem Olajuwon and Patrick Ewing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we forget somebody in that conversation about big centers. The Admiral, David Robinson.
Him too. He had
4 years in the Navy?
4 years in the Navy, plus an extra 2 to fulfill his commitment.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
He was drafted by He was drafted by the Spurs in 1987, but couldn't commit to them until he finished his commitment in 1989.
And Duncan with his spin moves. Okay.
Man, I watched.
By the way,
play. hold on, Neymar.
Okay,
I
go
watched
ahead,
Duncan play the ACC championship in 1995 when they
Mm-hmm.
played. I watched him play the whole tournament. The two games that stood out to me was when they played Duke and when they played Maryland, and when they not Maryland, when they played North Carolina at the old Greensboro Coliseum. He was developing then, and he didn't come out. He felt he wasn't ready. He told his coach, Dave Odom, I'm coming back for my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
And he did.
And that's maturity right there. Self-awareness and maturity right there for somebody that young. I'm thinking somebody comes to mind when I think about, like, given Wemby's height and everything, Sean Bradley.
Yeah.
Sean Bradley wasn't that good of an athlete.
Sean was underdeveloped, even though he played 4 years at BYU.
Yeah. And he was slow.
Okay.
He was
tall, but he was not athletic.
I'll throw a name out there that was tall, but was not athletic and very underdeveloped. And I've made a lot of comparisons to this particular center. If you go back a few years, the University of Connecticut had a fellow by the name of Hashim Thabit.
Thabit? Yeah.
Who could not run a full sprint.
No.
Because Jim Calhoun never made him run a full sprint. And you can tell when everybody else was up the court and they were waiting for Thabit to get down the court.
Yeah.
To get down the court. And Thabit was trailing everybody. And by that time they had to play 4-on-5.
Let me look this guy up. Another guy that also comes to mind, also Manute Ball. Because remember how he was built.
Manute developed, though. There's your difference.
He knew his role.
Manute developed and then added the 3-point shot as a weapon.
Yeah. He figured out what he could do, what he couldn't do. So, that's what he did. Anyway, closing thoughts, folks. We had 3.5 hours. So.
Yeah, I'll go.
Go ahead.
Appreciate you as usual. I wanted to ask you a while ago. What would you, if you were on the advisory board, what would you tell Trump he needs to do in the first year, or the administration? Really?
Oh, well, he pretty much knows. One, you get out of Ukraine. Okay. 2, you start cutting budgets. Okay. 3, instead of spending money to deport people, just cut the money. You don't need to deport them. Just cut the money. They'll leave. Okay? Instead of spending all that money trying to go round people up, just cut the budget. Okay. And then if they do something illegal, they'll actually expose themselves. That's what I would do. First 3 things I would tell them to do. We already know the first thing you have to do is in the war in Ukraine, stop the bleeding, stop spending all that money. Okay.
Yeah.
And number 2, you have if you're going to deport people, basically, cutting the money. In fact, I think in New York they already started cutting the money, and people started packing up and started leaving already. And then the third thing, basically is you're going to have to start selectively slicing the budget to get this under control. Probably it's going to be hard. It's probably starting with the defense. That's going to be a hard nut to crack, but you're going to have to do it. You can't spend $1.1 billion on something that's not effective anymore. You're going to have to do something, and decide where you're going to spend the money. So a lot of this pork is going to have to get sliced.
Cut the fat, trim the fat.
What about you? What's the first 3 things you would say tell them to do?
Well, definitely Ukraine. That's first order. If we're talking about the budget, man, I don't think it's going to happen with the military. The bond market's gonna. The bond market, they're gonna take a hit. That's what's gonna happen this year.
I don't think there's not much that he can do about it. He can try to make. I don't. He's been kind of rattling financial sabers against China. So I would like him to kind of make peace with China, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yep. I was going to say that.
Geopolitically, they gotta come to some kind of thing with the historical Palestine, and the only real possible shot at. I mean, you got to boost revenue. You got to do something about transportation. costs and logistics. That's your only real shot at possibly doing something with inflation.
I mean, historical Palestine that's what me and Dr. Reeves were talking about, is probably on the table is because now you can expand into Syria because Syria doesn't exist anymore. Okay, so you can take that land and give the Palestinian an autonomous region. That's what I would do. Okay, kind of because all the Arabs and all the other folks are actually upset about what's going on in Palestine. Instead of bombing them and all this other kind of crap, basically, hey, tell the rest of the world if you actually want the Palestinian thing to actually end. Okay, we're giving them their spot. We won't bother them. Just send the money to actually build them up. That's what I would say. And the same thing with the Kurds. Same thing with the other autonomous people that want their little piece of the pie. Syria doesn't exist anymore. Go ahead and give them their piece of the pie.
Yeah,
that's what I would say. Go ahead. What's your last thing?
Which one should I hit?
No, hold on. What's your last thing?
Last thing, it would be most domestically, man. I mean, it'd be twofold, man. Our education system, we got to fix that, and in our infrastructure. Those things, I mean, my opinion, it's either that or, I mean, you're already pretty much declining. But I mean, if you really want to like permanently be gone, in my opinion,
you want to slide faster,
yeah. So that's what I would tell him, and I would just leave it at that. I'll just show him the numbers, and just like just take a look at that whenever when you get a chance.
Education is going to be a huge fight because you're fighting one against the conservatives, against the liberals, and then against the females, black and white. Okay. Because if you want to reform it, you got to start killing some of the stuff that they actually stand for. Okay, and it's this common core shit came from trying to teach females science.
Exactly.
Okay, so it comes
I wouldn't even lead with the money. I would lead with you're getting beat by borderline third world countries. I mean, I would just do that just to like really, embarrass them on how poor that system, is.
What something that's bold. What I would really like to do, if I were president, okay, if I was president, okay, what I would suggest is, since we pushed the immigrants out, okay, you need people to work, right? The same money that Biden gave the immigrants, I would say, take the non-violent offenders out of prison. Give them the same kind of welfare, the same kind of food stamps for 2 or 3 years, and send them to trade school, right? Okay. To build shit. Okay.
Yeah.
You do twofold things. One, the average prisoner costs like $30,000 to $40,000 a year, right? Okay. And the average immigrant who's spending money on costs $20,000. Okay. So in other words, give them that money. Okay. You free up money because you're not incarcerating them, right? You give them training, and that to be taxpayers and be productive. Okay, that's what I would. But that's probably too bold for America because they believe in collective punishment.
Yep, you're underpaid. Underpaid. I know you're not here for the money, but I'm gonna always say that.
Two quick questions for
sir.
me for BGS before I go. One, which subject should I attack first under the microscope?
You got to be Andrew Reese because that's the hot topic.
Okay.
And then after that, Malika Andrews, because those are two hot topics. Okay. And then you could call the NBA the Costco vanilla ice cream. Okay.
Okay, so I got my first three. I got my first 3 streams behind the wall.
Don't forget the chocolate sprinkles, BGS.
Ain't no chocolate sprinkles.
And no, ain't no chocolate sprinkles on this.
No.
Okay, and 2, would you help me set them all up?
Sure. Just
because I want to get the word out and I want to get some subs in, because me and Jody had a great talk today. She says, "How by the way, and Happy New Year." She wants to see this take off, and I want this to be a stream for it. I want this to be a part of it.
Okay. All right. I told you at the beginning of the year, it's time to get you off the ground. Okay.
I appreciate it.
So I'm on board. So just let me know how I can help.
I appreciate it. Let me get out of here. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Bye. Martin Muhammad says, "Thank you, bros, and Happy New Year. Appreciate you." Okay. I said, Dr. Reefer said, "Appreciate you, the panel. Name of Charles somewhere et al. Hope Equalizer gets a new bow tie. All right. Anybody else? Closing thoughts.
I just want to say, as I usually say, it's a new year, and more of a reason to say y'all ain't shit, and God bless y'all for it.
Ain't gonna be shit. Ain't gonna be shit. Go ahead.
Woo! And I need a drink.
Oh, you don't have a drink? What?
Well, I just had one. I need another one.
Oh, another one. Okay. So the bottle's empty. What you're saying?
No.
Needs a
I'm just
refill.
going to go downstairs.
He needs a refill.
Let's not be stupid.
Oh, you drinking out of the glass today? Huh. Interesting.
No, I just had one. I just got to go back downstairs.
Okay.
Later, folks.
All right.
Later.
Anybody else?
My question, BJS, I did post it earlier. This thing about new administration and the thing that happened in New Orleans that a friend just told me briefly, and I'm thinking, he
was a black guy from Louisiana. So.
Oh, he's black. Okay.
Yeah, when I looked it up. He's a black guy from Louisiana.
Oh,
Pensive said New Year's tax. Appreciate you. Go ahead.
Well, let's say this man was, if they say alleged what he was before we knew he was black. I wonder how much they gonna cook up to start another war. If they, like you said, they don't have the money for this.
Another war. Another war where?
Like, I'm not sure. Like, they try and create something, but they don't. Like you said earlier, there has to be a budget for all this. Right?
Yeah, it has to be a budget. But the thing is, another war where? Because the thing is, you don't have the weapons or the budget. So where are you gonna start another war at?
Yeah, that's what came to my mind. That's when me and person was having the conversation. But I'm thinking, I don't know. I just sit back and then see what's gonna happen. But like I said, if there's some money in this, I mean, where are they gonna get it from? It's the biggest question. If they're trying to create something, and where are they gonna start target?
Okay, the Ukraine war was supposed to be budgeted, allocated. It was allocated out of the sanction money what they took from Russia, which was like $300 billion. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that money's gone already. So, and it's going to cost to actually rebuild Ukraine. It's going to cost over $1 trillion in about 15 years. So I don't know, man. So in other words, what war, where, and why? Basically, in Gaza, it doesn't make sense. Is because Syria fell. There's no reason to fight over this stuff. In other words, you want to get rid of the Palestinians, you have the opportunity to actually get rid of them if you want to. So now what are you fighting for? Now you're fighting Yemen over what? What you fighting for? You could settle this, but the thing is, you could start another war, but where are you going to start it and who, and with who, and for what?
Indeed.
Yeah, the only war that they're talking about is China, but that's way bigger than what most people actually want to envision.
We don't even talk about that. That's some out. They got out their reach, but don't even about waste time to go with China because right now, with the innovation, and I haven't really look up what innovate China, but I know they're very innovative right now. And the only issue was the sea, wasn't it? If they're able to conquer the seas, they should be really good to really conquer.
The thing is, they wanted the 7 island chain theory was actually put a blockade around China and force them to kneel, so they can get rid of the Belt and Road and stop Chinese expansion economically. That's what it's for. But if Thailand's if Malaysia and Thailand are actually going to join the BRICS, basically the 7 island chain is probably a dead issue. But who knows? Who knows?
Okay. All right. I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else. I was gonna do a stream, but I wasn't feeling the mood of it. Yeah. I'm surprised you never tried the vertical stream yet, BJS. They've been pushing for last.
The vertical stream.
Live streams with StreamYard and like people streaming vertically.
I mean, it's vertical stream's good for people that have smartphones. If you have a lot of people that have smartphones, vertical streams probably do work. But the thing is, I mean, you basically that's a solo thing, and I could do it, but not really.
Okay. Yeah, cause I figured I'd do it on StreamYard and it's for free, so that's why I was wondering. About the feature, but I say, go ahead.
I mean, a vertical stream is fine, but the thing is, most times you can do that. You don't even need StreamYard for that. You can actually do that from
the phone
from YouTube vertical stream.
Oh, really? Didn't I? Okay.
Yeah, it's automatic. You punch it in with your smartphone, automatically goes vertical.
Oh, that's cool.
Everyone uses it all the time.
Okay. All right, guys. Take care. Until next time. BJS, what's your thoughts about this question?
I mean, we cryptocurrency is probably the future. Basically, especially with the BRICS, most of the currency is crypto. Okay, really, it is digital currency, but crypto. Biden damn near came one step from turning the dollar into a crypto. It just
really?
One step away. Yeah.
But what really hold them back to not go through it?
Administration? No, I think it's people are apprehensive about adopting it. That's why they would have done it already.
But you know what? But one thing you did mention, which I'm glad you mentioned this, is people complain about if they own gold or the physical currencies like paper or coins. And I say you should still have these available unless the government or any institution gets with it completely. This is only for a safety net. Because think about BJS. If things really collapse, right? Let's say, what you gonna use to barter?
I mean, if things really collapse, then I mean, you have to go back to the old system. Assuming there's something to buy.
Yeah, something to buy. Yeah. What are you gonna sell? Tissue paper?
Yeah. Well, you can't trade tissue paper amongst other things. It's old-fashioned barter system. If things collapse.
Yeah.
Trump did say about crypto is a scam and how he switched. Now he switched up for crypto because it's inevitable. Okay, Chinese did it. Most of the world's on crypto, or some kind of crypto. I mean, the local merchants still want cash, but the thing is, I think you talk more about cashless society. And under COVID, they tried to get most of the cash during COVID. That's one thing that Austin Fitz did say. And I forget what they call it. I forget what they call the digital dollar offhand. But there was a push to get it in through the Federal Reserve. But people are apprehensive about that. So eventually it will happen. But the thing is, it's a matter of when, not if.
I gave it by 2030 at best. It'll make it more comfortable for people. Because a lot of people are already comfortable without no cash anyway. And a lot of people say, let's go cash. I say, you really want to go there?
They like most people are cashless, but the thing is, they don't like the idea of not having the option. That's the problem.
Okay, yeah, I feel. I don't like the option at first.
Because I think M1 you're down to like 2%, so you're virtually cashless anyway. But you know, but that's more technical details. But the thing is how people feel about it, not what actually is on the ground. Like China, without your smartphone, you can't buy anything. Okay.
I know. And you know how most people can't function with a phone, especially if you break your phone, you're screwed. You better have a backup phone. Right?
Well, China, they arrest you if you don't have your phone on you. So.
Really?
Yes.
Shit.
Yeah, they do. What's up, Al? What's happening? You're not supposed to come out the house without your phone because that's your ID and every other kind of thing. So, yeah, they're pretty strict about it. But China can do that. We can't.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah. Thank God.
Anyhow, y'all, if that's all there is, we are out of here.
Yeah. Till next time, maybe tomorrow or Friday for the AMA, guys. Tune in for that, you know.
Well, this is the AMA, so you might not get an AMA on Friday, but we'll see.
Well, you never know, BJS. You might have the spirit within you say, I feel the AMA coming. The evil twin said, you say, do AMA.
No, we had the knuckleheads up on the AMA, and it is what it is.
Yeah. I tell you one thing about the video with the black woman is like this, black man. Your stance better be reasonable, man. You better put that in her place. And touch get online and say, listen, I'm going to leave you, and that's it. Man, for this dude that's fuck you, I'm gonna call him and say, go get him now to get your shit. I'm not even.
Well, basically, with black women, either they get this shit together, or basically black men will take other options because they have options. So not even I'm gonna leave you. Basically, I don't have to deal with you at all. That's the issue that they're facing right now. Anyhow, y'all, let me get out of here.
All right, take care, guys. Peace.
Музыка Денис Шидер.